Last night, Chase Anderson nearly went the distance to pick up his first win of the season, turning in 8+ innings of one-run ball. Offensively, A.J. Pollock was a threat at the plate and a menace on the bases as the Diamondbacks stole a 6-1 victory from the Marlins. The two clubs are back at it for a Thursday afternoon showdown. Arizona seeks their 4th win in a row, while the Marlins look to snap an extended losing skid. All the action is coming up next, exclusively on MLB.tv. Welcome to Marlins Park in Miami, Florida, where the 16-25 Miami Marlins battle the 18-21 Arizona Diamondbacks in the finale of a 4-game series. New Marlins skipper Dan Jennings is in search of his first managerial victory and also looking to avoid the club's 7th straight loss overall. But first-year Diamondbacks manager Chip Hale wants to ruin those plans as he looks to depart the Sunshine State with a 4-game sweep.
Number 9 spot. The one thing that I have seen pre-game here today is a lot more life from the players than what we saw particularly in last night's game and maybe a little bit the night before. So I don't know whether the players have been talking amongst themselves. Well, I do know. I'm sure they've talked amongst themselves. But it is a spirited group that will take the field today. We'll see if that spirit leads to a win here for Dan Jennings, more importantly for the team and for the fans. Yeah.
Oh, we certainly hope that is the case this afternoon. This is a ball club that made a managerial change after a loss to the Braves on Sunday. One of the reasons cited for making that change was that lack of fire, that lack of energy that seemed to be carrying over onto the field and into this team's performance. Now, in 3 games since the change, no team looks energetic when it's not swinging the bats well. But this team has not looked energetic over the course of the last 3 games, particularly last night. You look at the 3 games to begin this series against Arizona, the Marlins have scored a total of 5 runs on 16 hits in the 3 games, continuing the slide that began before the change. But these bats need to come alive. This team needs to come alive. And we're now getting set to play game number 42, so we've moved past the 1/4 mark of the season. The Marlins find themselves suddenly a season worst 9 games under 500 at 16-25. They've got 0-6 on this homestand so far. They dropped 3 straight to the Braves. They've lost the first 3 of 4 against the D-backs, with the Orioles coming in this weekend. But going back even before the homestand, the Marlins have lost 9 of 10. They've dropped 13 of the last 17, and in doing so, they've undone the great run that they had after the slow start. Remember, they began 3-11. Then they won 9 of 10 to get back to 500 at 12-12. We talked at the time about just needing to string together series wins. Take 2 out of 3 here, take 2 out of 3 there, and next thing you know, you can get yourself back to 500. Well, the Marlins did that, and they got back to 500 very quickly, but they have just as quickly fallen 9 under by losing 13 of the last 17, and they turned to Matt Latos here this afternoon in hopes of getting back on track. Latos making his 9th start, a win, 4 losses, a 5.54 ERA. Left his outing Saturday against the Braves after being hit in the shin by a hot smash back up the middle off the bat of Cameron Maybin. He's facing a pitcher today in Arizona's Archie Bradley, who left his start April 28th against the Rockies after being hit in the face by a line drive hit by Carlos Gonzalez of the Colorado Rockies. Bradley, a rookie. He is having a terrific start to his big league career, particularly before he was hit. Went on the disabled list, but came back and has pitched once since returning, had his first really rocky outing at the big league level when he pitched against the Phillies in Philadelphia on Saturday. So a couple of pitchers who have been hit recently, hoping to get their teams into the win column here this afternoon. Late toast for Miami. We'll see Archie Bradley for the first time for the D-backs, and we're ready for baseball. So for the play-by-play, here's the voice of the Marlins, Dave Van Horn.
All right, thanks, Jeff, and hi again, everybody. Glad to have you aboard for this afternoon's game. Matt Latos, a big guy at 6'6", 225, and the 27-year-old is ready to go. He's got that big right foot planted on the first base edge of the rubber. He pivots and comes to the plate, and we're underway with a called strike. The strike called by the crew chief, Tom Hallion, who's working the plate today, 22-year veteran. Alfonso Marquez at first, Dan Bellino at second, Bruce Dreckman at third. Now Latos with his second pitch. And a ball lined softly to center field and a base hit for Enciarte, who gets his batting average now up over 300 with that hit. He checked in at 299. Enciarte aboard and A.J. Pollock coming up. And boy, did he have a night last night. Pollock scored 4 of their 6 runs. He stole 3 of their 7 bases. He went 3 for 4 with a walk. Just a big night for Pollock. To go along with the fact that he hit a pinch hit home run to win the game on Tuesday, there's a throw to first base chasing Pollock back to the bag. You can be sure that whoever is on the mound, and right now it happens to be Latos, wearing a Marlins uniform today, they're going to pay a lot of attention to the Diamondbacks base runners. Pollock at first, at the plate, and here's the pitch, and it gets away from the catcher, Real Muto, off to the left side as Latos threw one in the dirt. And it rolled almost all the way over to the Marlins dugout. And an easy advance down to second for Enciarte. We'll see how they score that. It was hard to tell from our angle. It should have been caught and blocked. That should be a passed ball. It was down, but it was not in the dirt. And it went right off the middle of Real Muto. It will be a passed ball. That's the third passed ball charge to JT Real Muto this season. Here's the 1-0 pitch and a ball driven toward left field. Back for it is Yelich. Makes a running catch heading back toward the warning track. Tagging at second, and Ciarte goes to third on Pollock's fly ball to Yelich in left center in front of the Clevelanders. That'll bring David Peralta to the plate. Peralta checks in today, batting .276, 4 home runs, 18 batted in. He hit in the number 4 spot last night. Went 2 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Drove in a couple of runs. One with a ground ball out. And he's a left-hand batter who lives up just north of us. Well, I say just, a little over 100 miles up to Stuart, Florida, where he and his wife Jordan make their home. So they are South Floridians. He broke in with the Cardinal organization, and he loved South Florida. Played for the Cardinals teams in Jupiter. That's where he met his wife, and they've settled into South Florida. He's a Venezuelan. There's a pitch and a called strike. She's from Ohio. Off-speed pitch for that strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Latos has a fastball that'll be anywhere from 88 to 94. 12-6 curveball that'll be in the high 70s. Might touch 80. The pitch, swing and a miss right there is the breaking pitch. He's got a slider in the mid-80s. Throws a changeup. So he's got a lot of weapons. And when he's healthy and feeling good out there on the mound and has command of those weapons, he can be very good. Latos sets again and delivers the 1-2, and it's swung on and missed, and Peralta is down on strikes. And that was an off-speed pitch. So 2 down, runner at third base. Yasmani Tomas, their third baseman, hitting .346. Young Cuban, 24-year-old rookie, and having a good year with the Diamondbacks. 1 homer, 11 RBIs. He's got 8 doubles now and a triple. Matt Latos, as Jeff told you, 1-4 a 5.54 ERA. His ERA swollen by 2 games, the last start and his first start. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss. Strike one to the right hand, hitting Tomas.
Really by 2 innings. The one disastrous inning in both of those 2 starts. A 7-run first against the Braves on April 7th, and the 5-run inning when he pitched against the Braves on Saturday. It's the bulk of the runs he's given up this year in 2 innings.
He only went 3 innings in the Saturday start. Here's the ball poked into the air down the right field line toward the corner, and it is a fair ball. Stanton will have to go dig it out of the corner. Enciarte scores, and it's a double for Yasmani Tomas the other way down to the right field corner. 1-0 Diamondbacks. Tomas's 5th double.
We haven't seen a lot of him. We've seen him for the last 4 days. He's been very impressive at the plate. This is a player, we talked about this earlier in the series, who a lot of teams disagreed on his value, and some thought the D-backs might have overpaid, giving him 6 years and $68.5 million. Many teams didn't think he'd be a big-time impact bat like a Jose Abreu was with the White Sox last year. D-backs gambling he would be, and he has been so far, certainly in this series.
Here's Mark Trumbo playing first base today, batting .280, and Trumbo, right-hand hitter, takes a strike. In talking about Matt Latos, didn't get out of the first inning in his first Marlins start back on the 7th of April and gave up 7 earned runs on 6 hits and a couple of walks. And the Marlins were hammered 12-2 that day. Here comes the 1-strike pitch, and it's fouled away to the seats down the right field line, and some of the campers got a souvenir. And then the game Geff alluded to, the start on Saturday against the Braves. He only went 3 innings. Gave up 5 earned runs on 8 hits, and had to leave the game when he suffered that contusion to his left shin on a ball hit back at him by Cameron Maybin.
So he's allowed 24 runs this season, 12 of them in those 2 innings.
Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that's low and inside, and 1 ball and 2 strikes to the veteran Mark Trumbo.
The other moral of that story is he's happy to be facing somebody other than the Braves, because the Braves have roughed him up. They've beaten him 3 times already this year.
Yep.
He's pitched well against everybody else.
Trumbo, 29 years old, for 4 years played for the Angels. Here's the pitch to Trumbo, and he hits a 1-hopper to Adeiny Echeverria. Up with it and throws to first for the out. Good concentration by Etch, because Tomas timed his run to third base in front of Etch to screen that ball. But Etch made the play, stayed right with it, and when Etch walked off the field, he gave Tomas a pat on the backside. 1 Cuban to the other. 1-0 Diamondbacks. The Marlins coming to bat on the Marlins Radio Network. The Marlins coming to bat against Archie Bradley. This is one of 6 day games in Major League Baseball. There are 6 other games to be played tonight. This is the first one to start up in the big leagues. And in just about, less than 15 minutes now, the Mariners and the Orioles will begin play at Camden Yards. And then a little after 1, the Astros at Comerica against the Tigers. The Mets are hosting the Cardinals in a day game. Phillies are at the Rockies, and the Dodgers at the Giants in an afternoon contest, 3:45 Eastern. D. Gordon steps in, batting .395, so the average has come down under that 400 mark. 3 for his last 21. Desperate for a hit, he tried twice last night to bunt for a single, and twice made out. As a matter of fact, in the game last night, here's the pitch to D. Left-hand batter takes outside and a ball. He was 0 for 3 and hit by a pitch his last time up. He is still the major league leader in batting average, .395, and in total hits, 64. The pitch and a called strike on Gordon. He had the first baseman and the third baseman moving in. Trumbo at first, Chris Owings at second, Flip Pennington the shortstop, Yasmani Tomas at third. Here's the pitch, and it's low and outside. Jordan Pacheco catching today's game for the D-backs. And their outfield left to right is David Peralta, A.J. Pollock, and Ender Inciarte. Gordon takes the next pitch, a strike. He started to make that first step toward first base, thinking maybe that pitch was low. 3-2 the count on Gordon as he faces the 6'4", 230-pound rookie Archie Bradley. The pitch is low this time, and he draws the walk to lead off the game for the Marlins, who are down 1-0 as they bat here in this first inning. Bradley, an excellent athlete. As a pitcher, he throws a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. Just a few changeups, mostly the fastball and the curveball. His fastball be anywhere from 92. He'll probably top out at about 94. It's got late life to it. He does have, from time to time, command issues. And he's issued a leadoff walk here to Gordon. Marcell Ozuna, batting .271, will step in. A throw to first base, and D. Gordon is back safely.
Something to keep an eye on with D. He's gone 13 straight games without a stolen base. That's one shy of the longest drought of his career. Had a 14-gamer with the Dodgers back in 2012 as a rookie.
He's 12 out of 19 in stealing bases. Here's the pitch, and a ball fouled back, caught the edge of the screen over top of the Diamondbacks on deck circle, down to our right.
He's only attempted one steal in these last 13 games, so he hasn't been on as much, particularly of late, but when he's been on, hasn't been running.
Draws another throw over there at first base. Perry Hill's the first base coach, keeping an eye on things. The guy that's been responsible for bringing D. Gordon further along with the running game is over at third base in the coaching box there, Brett Butler. 0-1 the count here on Ozuna. A long hold this time by Archie Bradley, and Ozuna asked for and got time. And speaking of stolen bases, with the 12 steals that Gordon does have, that's half of the team total. 24. But then you did the math on that. Bradley from Muskogee, Oklahoma, lives in Broken Arrow. Diamondbacks #1 pick 2011. Here's the pitch, and the runner is on the move, and a ground ball past the dive of Pennington, going to his left, couldn't get it. D. Gordon's on his way to third. He'll pull up there, and Marlins are at first and third on a hit by Ozuna. So a walk and a single to start the day for Archie Bradley. And that brings Giancarlo Stanton to the plate. Out to the mound, Jordan Pacheco. Pacheco perhaps suggesting to Bradley that he be careful here, which is probably what Bradley's been thinking about all night and all morning. Bradley graduated from Broken Arrow High School, 12-1 as a senior, the Oklahoma 2011 All-State Player of the Year, had committed to the University of Oklahoma to play quarterback on their football team and play on the baseball team. But he signed. Here's a pitch, a check swing, and a called strike. Good athlete.
He was a good student. His mom was the principal of Broken Arrow High School, which also produced Brad Penny, two-time Marlin.
And a guy I saw a lot of by the name of Steve Rogers. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that missed off the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Giancarlo batting .237, 12 homers, 38 batted in. 6 doubles and a triple for Stanton. From the high set, Bradley comes to the plate. Stanton swings and drives the ball hard to the gap left center. That's a base hit. Here's Gordon home to score, and this game's tied at 1. Stanton collects his 39th run batted in of the season, and we're all tied up here in the first. Stanton came into this game tied with Bryce Harper, 38 home runs, 38 RBIs, I beg your pardon. Both like to have 38 home runs by now. We'd be talking new all-time records. The American League leader in RBIs, Nelson Cruz in Seattle, has knocked in 33 runs. But Stanton now atop the leaderboard with 39, and Harper at 38. Martin Prado, the batter, hitting .267. Former Diamondback. And the pitch. And a called strike. Didn't take long for the Marlins to cash in that leadoff walk, did it? First and second, Stanton and Ozuna. And nothing in 1 here on Martin Prado. The pitch is on the way, and Prado pops this foul. It'll go to the seats behind first base. Enjoy fine dining at Miccosukee Resort and Gaming. Try their signature tomahawk steak, other favorites like chicken marsala, grilled mahi-mahi, and much, much more. Details at Miccosukee.com.
Got to go back to Saturday to find the last time the Marlins scored a run before the 6th inning. So some early offense. Hopefully we'll get this team jump-started a little bit here today.
Prado, who has knocked in 15, up here with an RBI opportunity, hits a little weak bounder to third. Barehanded by Tomas, dropped by Tomas, and the bases are loaded on an infield hit by Martin Prado. He went for the bare hand play. It was do or die. The ball hit softly on a big swing by Prado. And now Mike Harkey, the pitching coach, will go talk to the youngster Archie Bradley, 22 years old. And the rookie will listen intently as Mike Harkey talks to him. The bases are full. He's in a big jam here. The game has been tied by the Marlins, but Harkey will try to get him settled down and teach him something about inning management. And while that talk goes on, Tom Hallion makes his way slowly out to the mound. Didn't have to go out and break it up. Harkey's already on his way back to the Diamondbacks dugout down to our right. The Diamondbacks in the road grays today, trimmed in Sedona red caps and helmets, and the Marlins in the home whites with the black caps and helmets going. And Christian Yelich, what a time for him to break out. He is batting just .179, only has a half a dozen RBIs, and he stands in here against Archie Bradley. The pitch is on the way to Yelich, and there's a called strike on Christian. With the bases loaded, Yelich is 1 for 1 so far this season with 2 RBIs. Bradley from the high set deals, and Yelich takes outside. Two-seam fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Prado, Stanton, and Ozuna. 3 aboard for Yelich. Spread stance. He's straight away, but spread. Holds the bat fairly high. Hands are up at his ear level. Here's a ground ball to short. Up with it, Pennington to Owens for 1. Over the first for 2. Double play ball for the first 2 outs of the inning. And the DP ball scores Ozuna from third base with run number 2 for the Marlins and a 2-1 lead. That's exactly what the pitcher, Archie Bradley, needed. Justin Bour will be the batter. Stanton goes to third on the double play. Ozuna scored. As you know, no RBI. Bour stands in, batting .438. Young man's done a nice job since coming up from New Orleans. He takes the first pitch low and outside, and ball one. Justin Bour, 14 hits, 32 at-bats, including a couple of doubles and a home run. Getting the start at first base today. Left-hand hitter against the right-hander Bradley. The pitch swung on, miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another fastball. I'll bet you somewhere in Mike Harkey's talk with Archie Bradley, the phrase double play was used.
Get a ground ball. Minimize the damage.
1-2 the count on Bour. Stanton, the lone base runner, taking his lead over in foul ground away from third base. And here's the 1-2, and that's way outside. Ball 2. 2-2 to Bour. Born and raised just west of Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia. Everybody on the Diamondback and everybody shaved a little bit around to the right. Bour takes low, and ball 3. And Bradley has worked to a full count here. Bradley had impressive numbers for the most part in the minors. 4 seasons in the minors to get ready for this first time around in the big leagues. Here's a ground ball, base hit through the left side. Justin Bour with the Marlins' 4th hit of the inning drives in Giancarlo Stanton, and the Marlins take a 3-1 lead. That's a big hit for Bour. He worked the full count, got a pitch he could hit, and hit it through the shift out into left center. He collects his 4th RBI. Bradley was set to get out of it with the minimum amount of damage having been inflicted, but couldn't get Bour out. Here's JT Realmuto, right-hand hitting catcher. JT takes low and a ball. (3-1) Marlins here in the first inning. Realmuto, number 7 in the batting order. And the pitch. And it caught the inside edge. And remember, too, this first inning for the Marlins started with the base on balls. And how many times have we said, and we're not the only ones to say it, but nothing good comes from a leadoff walk. 1-1. Archie Bradley ready, delivers, and the pitch in the dirt and away from the hitter Realmuto. 2 balls and a strike. I was mentioning the minor league career of Archie Bradley. Worth pointing out that in the minors, over his 4 seasons, he pitched 373 innings and struck out 393. The pitch. And that's over at the knees and a strike. Evens things up at 2-2. So far in the big leagues, he has recorded 15 strikeouts with a high of 6 in his first start against the Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw, a game he won 1-0, which in itself is a story. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bradley deals, and here's a foul ball back our way. First starter all-time to face the reigning Cy Young Award winner Kershaw and World Series MVP Madison Bumgarner in his first 2 career starts. In his first 3 starts, he got Kershaw, Bumgarner, and Gallardo. Here's the pitch, and here's a one-hopper to the shortstop. Up with it is Pennington, throws to Owens, covering at second base for the 3rd out of the inning. So Realmuto forces Bour at second base, 6-4 for the putout there. The Marlins have scored 3 runs on 4 hits, and they take a 3-1 lead into the second on the Marlins Radio Network. Into the second inning, Matt Latos and the Marlins have a 3-1 lead. The Marlins defensive lineup brought to you by Barracuda Networks, the leader in content security and data protection solutions. Reclaim your network with Barracuda. For the Marlins this afternoon, Christian Yelich in left, Marcell Ozuna in center, Giancarlo Stanton in right, Justin Bour at first base. D. Gordon plays second, Adeiny Echeverria is at shortstop, Martin Prado at third, and JT Realmuto is catching. Chris Owings will lead it off. He's playing at second base today for the Diamondbacks. And then Jordan Pacheco, the catcher, and the shortstop, Cliff Pennington, coming up here against Matt Latos. Latos last year, injury-affected season, only made 16 starts, went 5-5, didn't pitch until June 14th. Left knee issues that stay with him until today, having nothing to do with the ball he took off the shin in his last start. Here's the pitch, and that's low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Chris Owings. He had a torn meniscus in his left knee that required repair. He had a sore elbow, bone bruise in the right elbow. So 5-5 with the Reds last year. There's a pitch, fouled back out of play. He's a player who broke in with the San Diego Padres. They drafted him out of Coconut Creek High School and Broward Community College in 2006 in the 11th round. 6 years in the majors now, 3 with San Diego, 3 with Cincinnati, and this his first time around with the Marlins. Latos to the plate, big right-hander, and it's fouled off. He's got a piece of it, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Latos, as you may know, was signed by the Padres, Joe Bochy. And if that name rings a bell, it should. That's Bruce Bochy's brother. Bruce Bochy, a happy man today. Here comes the 1-2, and a ball hit off the end of the bat to the right side. Up with it, Bour takes it to the bag ahead of Owings for out number 1 here in the second. So Bour makes the scoop, gets the put out at first by himself. Jordan Pacheco, who's catching today for the Diamondbacks, will be coming up here. Boch is happy because Tim Lincecum pitched a dandy and beat the Dodgers last night 4-0 in one of the late games. That was at AT&T Park. Lincecum went 7 shutout innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 walks, struck out 4, and a 4-0 San Francisco victory over the Dodgers. Here's the pitch, and there's a called strike. So Lincecum now is 4-2 and a 2.08 ERA. So that's why I say Boch is smiling today.
Now they won 6 out of 8 from the Dodgers. They're the only team beating Los Angeles, it seems like, so far this year.
Here's the 0-1 to Pacheco. The right-hand batter takes down and in. Here's the puzzling thing about the Dodgers. Might not be the only thing, but it's the only thing that's got me puzzled so far concerning the Dodgers. 17-5 at Dodger Stadium. 7-10 on the road. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Pacheco, and a line drive base hit over Echeverria out into left center, where Yelich heads it back in towards second. So Pacheco, a .217 hitter, gets on with the 3rd hit here early in the game for the Diamondbacks. And Cliff Pennington will be the batter, playing at shortstop today. Nick Ahmed gets a break. Paul Goldschmidt out of their lineup. Tuffy Gosewich, Aaron Hill. A lot of moving parts on the Diamondbacks team. And that's working for them. They're putting something together. 18-21 coming in here. They had lost 5 straight at the start of this series. But now they're feeling a lot better about things. They not only lost, but they had dropped, what, 7 of 9. There goes the runner. There's the pitch, and that base is stolen on Matt Latos. He didn't stay long enough to give a good look at the runner, Pacheco. And so for Pacheco, his first stolen base. This is one of the alarming things. Look at last night when they stole 7 bases. You have people like Aaron Hill, who had all of 1 stolen base coming into the game. He stole a base last night. The pitch missed inside. And he wasn't the only one. David Peralta had 1 stolen base going into the game last night. He had a steal last night. A.J. Pollock had 6 steals. He had 3 in last night's game. Tuffy Gosewich, who was 1-1 in the stolen base department, he stole a base last night, his second of the year. And now today, there's ball 4 to Pennington. And with 1 out, runners at first and second on the Pacheco hit, the steal of second, and now a walk to Pennington.
JT out of the mound. You saw some frustration in the body language of Matt Latos after a couple of the pitches missed to Pennington. Here he is facing the number 8 man in the lineup. He's pitching with a 2-run lead in the second inning. Pennington, who's been ice cold at the plate of late, and he fell behind, wound up walking him on 4 pitches. And you could just read in his body language. He snapped at the ball coming back from Real Muto, the way he was sulking around the mound a little bit, so JT went out to try to calm him down.
Inexplicable, isn't it? I mean, considering where you are in the batting order. Now here's the pitcher. Good athlete, Archie Bradley, but just 1 for 9 with the bat in the big leagues. And out there at second base, Jordan Pacheco. Pennington at first base. And the Marlins looking for the bunt from Bradley. If he gets it down successfully, it'll be his first. Here's the pitch, and it's outside and a ball. There are a lot of baseball people, Gepp, and more, who say now when they're giving you an out, take it.
You only get 27 of them a night, so everyone is precious. Yeah, they want to give you one, you take it.
1 ball, no strikes. And Latos sets, deals. And he gets a fastball over for a strike at 91 for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And it was puzzling, the location of that first pitch to Bradley. It's one thing to make a batter that's bunting uncomfortable by throwing in. It's another to just totally waste a pitch out to the outside to the pitcher. Ball's bunted foul at the plate. Ball didn't travel more than 3 feet away from home plate. Foul, third base side. 1-2 on Archie Bradley, trying to get the runners over for Ender Enciarte, who is on deck and who is batting .303. Latos sets from the low set position. He looks back at the lead runner, comes in with the pitch, and there's a bunt first base side. That goes foul, and Archie Bradley is out. Could not get the bunt down. I will say this, that attempt traveled a little further than the first one. The first one went 3 feet. This one went about 10 feet. That's unkind, isn't it? Archie's a good guy and a good player, and they'll bring him along. The strikeout is number 2 for Latos. 2 down now, and he's got to come hard after Enciarte, who singled up the middle in the first inning and scored the Diamondbacks run. The Marlins have a 3-1 lead here in the top of the second inning. Pitch on the way, and it's up high and a ball. And Enciarte steps out. Be interesting to watch the crew chief, Tom Hallion, today. If it's not a foul ball, they're supposed to stay in the box, if I'm correct. Here's a pitch, foul back out of play. Not that I want to be a stickler about that, but I'm just thinking about the Bryce Harper situation with plate umpire Marvin Hudson last night, when Harper and Matt Williams got tossed in the game in an argument over balls and strikes and whether or not you're in the batter's box or not in the batter's box, and whether you've shown the umpire up or not. Enciarte, left-hand hitter up here against Latos. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch on the way, and it's taken outside. 2-1. Matt Latos, career high in wins 14, 3 different times. 2010, 12, and 13. Pitch, fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Matt Latos, in his career, 61 wins, 49 losses, a career 3.42 earned run average. And he's closing in on 1,000 innings of Major League pitching. Came into this start at 989 innings pitched in the big leagues. 2-2 on the way, and it's fouled away off to the left. Well, the youngsters up there in a camp jersey, I guess, will get their hands on that. It was good to hear the voices of young people in the ballpark, screaming and yelling and having a good time. Where do they put that sign up on the scoreboard? The one that scream asks the fans to scream. There's a line drive and a base hit out into left. Coming to third is Pacheco. He runs toward the plate and he will score. And sliding in safely at third is Pennington. And it's an RBI single for Ender Inciarte to pull the Diamondbacks to within a run here in the second, 3-2.
That's disheartening. You score 3 runs in the bottom of the first when you've been scuffling offensively the way the Marlins have in the last week or so. And even with the hit and the walk to begin this inning, after the first man was retired, you have a chance to escape, but he couldn't get Inciarte. We've seen that a lot. If you go back to the last road trip and early on in the series against the Braves, when the Marlins score runs, the other side seems to answer the next half inning much too often. Very disheartening.
Well, the last thing that you said there prior to saying very disheartening, which it is, much too often. Here's the pitch and a called strike. Much too often taking a lead and then giving the lead or a good part of it right back, keeping the other team in the game right after you've scored. When in all of baseball, managers, pitching coaches, players, they look for those shutdown innings after you have scored. A.J. Pollock's been hot in this series. He's 0 for 1 so far today. Ball is in the dirt and rolls away from Real Muto. The runner at third holds Pennington, and Inciarte moves down to second. Now, Real Muto has already been charged with the passed ball. Will this be another?
I think that's a wild pitch.
Let's take a look at it. That's a wild pitch. He did all he could do to block that. And it is officially scored a wild pitch.
That one hit in front of the plate.
That does not help the Latos cause. 1-1 to A.J. Pollock. Here's the pitch, and that's low and a ball. Pollock flied out to left field in the first inning. And he's batting here with 2 outs and 2 in scoring position. And a base hit to the outfield now could put the Diamondbacks ahead in this game. 2 balls and a strike. And a ball hit high into the air to center field. And Marcell Ozuna is under this, makes the catch. Pollock is out. And the 2 runners at second and third are stranded. But the Diamondbacks pick up a run on 2 hits and a walk and a steal in the inning. And it's now a 1-run game headed to the headed to the bottom of the second inning for the
Its MLB All-Star Game ballot is here. Head to MLB.com/vote to choose this year's stars and help send them to the All-Star Game on July 14th in Cincinnati. Vote early and vote often to put your stamp on the Midsummer Classic.
First pitch from Archie Bradley. One strike on Etch, who's batting .296. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Echeverria was shut out in 3 trips last night. His last hit came against Daniel Hudson in the Tuesday game. The pitch is fouled off. 0-2 to Adeiny Echeverria. First pitch to last out. Catch the Marlins on Fox Sports Florida. Tune in to Marlins baseball all season long on Fox Sports Florida, where Marlins fans live. Echeverria ducks a single out into right center. Base hit for Adeiny Echeverria. That'll bring Matt Latos up here, and he'll try to get the runner over. Generally, when he's been called upon to do this, he's come through. He's got 5 sacrifice hits already this season. He'll try to move Echeverria over for D. Gordon at the top of the batting order against Archie Bradley here. Bradley from the set. Here comes the defense moving in, and the pitch is a called strike, and Latos did not attempt to bunt that ball. Brett Butler steps down, gets a sign from the dugout, passes those signs on to the hitter and the runner. 0-1 on Latos. Latos bats right-handed, squares early. Shows everybody the bunt stance, and there's a snap move to first base, and Echeverria is back safely. Echeverria should steal more bases than he does, and in time he will. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and there's the bunt out in front of the plate, laid out there for Pacheco. Passes up a possible play at second. The speedy Echeverria got down there nicely. 3-4 on the sacrifice. That was because Echeverria had a good jump as soon as the ball was bunted by Latos and jumped out in front of the plate. And while Pacheco was thinking to get the lead runner, he knew he had no chance. D. Gordon, the batter. Sacrifice hit number 6 for Latos. Gordon, left-hand batter, gets in there, walked and scored the first run of the 3 in the first inning. We're in the bottom of the second inning here. And talking about Etch and stolen bases, he has only attempted 2 stolen bases. He has been successful once. Butler continues to work with him. One of the things that is of concern with Echeverria is knowing when to take a stolen base lead, when not to. Game situations where they need a steal from him and situations where they don't. 1 ball, no strikes, the pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. In other words, Etch is still learning at the major league level about some of the intricacies involved in the game, especially the inter-diamond game, which involved stolen bases, hit and runs, plays like that. But he's a marvelous talent. There's a pitch fouled back out of play off to the left.
As you see, players get to the big leagues younger and younger over the years. They spend less time in the minor leagues where normally they would learn things like that. And the experience they garner in the minor leagues helps them know those things when they get to the big leagues. There's more teaching that goes on at this level these days than maybe at any time in the history of the game. And Brett Butler, a guy you see doing that a lot, taking Echeverria aside, taking any number of Marlins aside, talking about things that happen within the game. Don't let the same thing happen to you twice.
Bradley spins off and looks Echeverria back to the bag at second. With Gordon a left-handed batter, the right side of the infield has backed up. Trumbo midway, Owings further back on the right side, and it is the shortstop Pennington trying to keep Etch close at second. And here comes the pitch, and Gordon smacks one off the leg of the pitcher. It's picked up by the second baseman. Owings thrown to first for the out, and over to third goes Adeiny Etcheverria. What's that, the second time on this homestand now that with a runner out there, and RBI's taken away from Etch because the ball he batted up the middle hit the pitcher.
Well, in Bradley's case, this is a pitcher who, making a start against the Rockies April 28th, took a 115-mile-per-hour line drive off of Carlos Gonzalez's bat off his head. He suffered a slight sinus fracture. Could have been a lot worse. Went on the DL, missed a couple of starts, but he was lucky to take that one lower in the body.
Here's the pitch to Martin Prado. First ball hitting. He hits a hard one-hopper right at the shortstop, Pennington, who throws Prado out, or rather, I should say, Marcell Ozuna out at first base. Still very used to seeing Prado hit the number 2 spot. Sorry about that. That was Marcell Ozuna out 6-3. So, no runs, a leadoff hit, stranded at third base. 3-2 Marlins at the end of 2 on the Marlins Radio Network.
The dream starts here. The MLB 2015 First-Year Player Draft, live from MLB Network Studio 42. Coverage begins Monday, June 8th at 6 Eastern on MLB Network and MLB.com.
First, run on 2 hits and a walk through a wild pitch in the second. Archie Bradley for the D-backs allowed 3 runs on 4 hits in the first inning, left the man at third in the second, so he's thrown 40 pitches as well. We'll see who settles in here as he moves toward the middle stage of this ball game. Latos out there to face Peralta, Tomas, and Trumbo. 3-4-5 in the D-backs half of the third. 3-2 Miami, looking to salvage the final game of this 4-game series. Peralta, lefty hitter, stands in, takes outside and low. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Samuel Adams. Step up your game with a Samuel Adams Boston Lager. Samuel Adams, for the love of beer. Peralta struck out his first time up, had a couple of hits, a sac fly, drove in a pair, stole a base last night as he fouls this one off. D-backs left fielder is 3 for 9 in the series. Had the game-winning hit in the 13th inning. The series opener Monday night. D-backs prevailed 3-2. 1-1 is a strike at the knees outside Black. Fastball from Matt Latos. The D-backs won 3-2 on Monday in 13. They pulled out a 4-2 victory Tuesday on the 8th inning pinch hit home run by A.J. Pollock that snapped a 2-2 tie. They cruised to a 6-1 win last night behind Chase Anderson. 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Anderson pitched into the 9th last night for the first time in his big league career. Didn't allow a run until the 9th. It allowed only 2 hits in the first 8 innings, where the Marlins got a couple against him in the 9th. And the D-backs stole 7 bases in the ball game on the way to the 6-1 win. That pitch in the dirt bounced up, and it caught JT Realmuto near his right elbow, so they give him a second to collect himself. Realmuto, who has seen the bulk of the action behind the plate since coming up on April 15th. 2-2, Latos to Peralta. Swing and a miss. He chased one in the dirt, and Matt Latos rings up the strikeout. That's his third in the ball game. So 1 out here in the top of the third. Third baseman Yasmani Tomas coming up. Tomas Had an RBI double his first time up. Hit 2 out his in the first inning. Matt Latos has seen a lot of these D-backs over the years. Hasn't pitched against them since 2013 when he was still a Red. In his career, 8 previous starts against Arizona, and it's gone well for him historically. 4-1, a 2.61 ERA. Pitching against these D-backs between 2010 and 2013. Pitch to Yasmani Tomas is a fastball outside corner for a strike. Latos coming into this one's won his last 3 starts against the D-backs with a 1.59 ERA. His only loss against Arizona came as a Red back in July of 2012. There's a swing and a miss and a fastball away. So Matt jumps ahead here 0-2. Matt Latos, who said yesterday he's basically pitching at, in his estimation, 60, 70, 80% physically right now. He's got that left shin wrapped after being hit by the Cameron Maben shot in his last start on Saturday. He's been wearing a brace on the left knee all season after he had the surgery for torn meniscus last year. 0-2 to Tomas, hit foul off to the right to stay alive. Had some fluid drained from that knee in spring training. But Matt not using the injuries as an excuse. He said, I've pitched poorly and I'm tired of it. And he's happy to be back out there this afternoon trying to get his season back on track. Another 0-2 pitch to Tomas, and it's rolled to the second baseman. D. Gordon collects it. Plenty of time across the first 2 outs. And a chance for 1-2-3 inning here for Latos if he can get Mark Trumbo. Well, we invite you to enjoy a night in Havana, powered by South Florida Ford this Friday. That's tomorrow night. Well, the Marlins welcome the Baltimore Orioles to town for the first of 3 this weekend at 7:10. You can purchase the Night in Havana package at marlins.com/special events. You get a ticket, a Havana Sugar Kings t-shirt, and more. Plus, stick around after the ball game for a fireworks show presented by Corona Light. That's tomorrow night, the Marlins and the Orioles at 7:10. Mark Trumbo, a weak swing and a miss at a pitch away, strike 1. That was the slider. Fastball, a little bit out in front. Trumbo gets his first start of the season at first base today. First day off of the year for Paul Goldschmidt. Trumbo, the former Angel, now in his second year with the D-backs. 0-1 pitch from Latos, swing and a miss. Another slider down and away, 0-2. Marlins up 3-2. Play the top of the third. 9 hits already in the ball game. Miami with 5, Arizona 4. Latos looking to set down the side in order here in the third. The 0-2 to Trumbo is on the way, and Trumbo had a good swing, fouled it back. Roof closed, windows closed here at Marlins Park this afternoon, a Thursday matinee. Played with the roof open the last 2 nights. This is the 3rd and 4th games of the season here at Marlins Park with the roof open. Today a little too hot at 86 and very humid outside, 76 at game time inside. Climate controlled comfort. Another 0-2 pitch to Trumbo. He chased a breaking ball in the dirt and he's down on strikes. JT picks it up and he fires down to first to complete the strikeout. So 2 Ks in the inning and now 4 in the ball game for Matt Latos, who for the first time in the ball game sets down the side in order. We've played 2.5 at Marlins Park this afternoon. It's the Marlins 3 with Diamondbacks 2 on the Marlins Radio Network.
In Beantown on MLB Network's Friday Night Showcase. Trout leads the Halos into Fenway to slug it out with Pedroia and the Bo Sox. Join Cott and Verducci for Angels, Red Sox. MLB Network's Friday Night Showcase live at 7 Eastern.
Side of the D-backs infield again, Giancarlo, who had an RBI single, came around to score a run his first time. Bradley kicks and fires, and Stanton takes high, ball one. Giancarlo's single in the first inning. His first hit on this homestand that stayed in the ballpark. Coming in today, he'd been 4 for 24 on the homestand, 4 homers. Now 6 RBIs on the homestand. This is the 7th game. 1-0 pitch is high and tight, a fastball, ball 2. Stanton knocked in his Major League leading 39th run with that first inning single. 2-0 from Bradley, checks his swing, and Giancarlo takes down and away. They ask at first, no swing, says Alfonso Marquez. Stanton 2 out of 13 in this series. Hit a 2-run home run against the D-backs here Tuesday night. 3-0 pitch. He's swinging at the green light, but he fouls it back. Marlins scored 3 times in the first inning. D-backs single runs in the first and second. 3-1 to Giancarlo. That's outside and low, ball 4. He's on for the second time. So Bradley, who walked Gordon leading off the first inning, now issues his second free pass. He'll get Martin Prado to the plate with Giancarlo at first. Archie Bradley is our DraftKings.com fantasy player of the game here this afternoon. A lot of fantasy players always looking for the next big thing, always looking to add some young starting pitching. Archie Bradley's been the D-backs' #1 prospect both of the last 2 years. Had a great minor league career. 29-18, a 3.14 ERA, 72 starts. This is 4th full pro season, making his big league debut here in 2015. Former #1 pick Archie Bradley. Pitch to Prado, former D-back, taken for a strike over the outside corner. Bradley, only 22 years old. He was taken 7th overall in 2011. That was 7 picks before the Marlins took a high school pitcher by the name of Jose Fernandez. That was a pretty good first round in that 2011 draft. 0-1 pitch to Prado is over the outside edge. Strike 2. The Pirates took Garrett Cole at #1 in that draft. Trevor Bauer went to these D-backs with the 3rd overall pick. He's now a Cleveland Indian. The Nationals took Anthony Rendon at #6. Cubs got Javier Baez with the 9th pick of that first round. George Springer to the Astros at #11. The A's selected Sonny Gray 18th overall. 0-2 to Prado is low on the ball. Red Sox got Blake Swihart with the 26th pick. Giants took their second baseman Joe Paddock at #29 in that first round 2011. That first round also included Jose Fernandez #14 and this right-hander Archie Bradley at #7. That's a pretty good first round. And we're only 4 years removed from that draft. There could still be some more to come out of that draft. That first round alone. Counts a ball and 2 strikes to Prado. Quick throw to first. Giancarlo dives back. Archie Bradley got his big league career off to a hot start. Dave mentioned he beat Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers in his first big league start, April 11th in Phoenix. Won that ball game 1-0, went 6, allowed 1 hit, no runs. Walked 4, struck out 6. And he allowed 2 runs or fewer in each of his first 4 starts. 1-2 to Prado, missed inside, pops out of the catcher's mitt, breaking for second, Stanton, and he'll slide in ahead of the throw of Pacheco. Stanton was not running on the pitch. The ball didn't get that far away from Pacheco, but with a good secondary lead, Giancarlo able to move up. They're going to score that as a wild pitch. So good aggressive base running. And things like that make a big difference when your team is struggling to string hits together, having a tough time putting runs up on the scoreboard. Now Giancarlo's got himself into scoring position with nobody out. 2-2 pitch to Prado, and he goes the other way, trying to move him to third, but he fouls the ball off to the right into the seats. So Archie Bradley, in his first 4 starts, went 2-0 with 1.80 ERA. That was before he had to leave his 4th start against the Rockies after being hit in the head by the drive off Carlos Gonzalez's bat. Went on the DL, came back, and made his last start on Saturday in Philadelphia. 2-2 to Prado in the dirt. Again rolls away from Pacheco, but he chases it quickly to the right and keeps Stanton at second base. And that last start for Bradley did not go nearly as well as the first 4. He went 2 innings in Philadelphia on Saturday, threw 59 pitches, Left after allowing 4 runs on 5 hits and 3 walks. So looking to bounce back today. Had the shaky beginning, allowed 3 in the first. Trying to settle down. Payoff pitch now to Prado, and Martin out in front of an off-speed pitch. He's down on strikes. Bradley took something off. Good curveball. He's a fastball, curveball, changeup pitcher, mostly fastball, curveball. And Prado is the first Bradley strikeout victim of the afternoon. One out, Stanton still at second. Here's Christian Yelich, who hit into a 6-4-3 double play that brought home a run in that 3-run first. Marlins really need to get Christian Yelich going. Pitch to Yelich is low on the ball. Archie Bradley, our DraftKings.com fantasy player of the game. Hurry to DraftKings.com now. Enter promo code Marlins to play for free. DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of the Miami Marlins. Yelich, the lefty hitter, awaits the 1-0, and he takes it up and away. Mentioned this last night. Despite Yelich's struggles, and he's hitting just 176, he's just 3 for 19 on the homestand. And go back to April 13th, he's just 8 for his last 62 with a DL stint in between, where he played through some back issues, then missed some time with that bulging disc. He is still putting up good at-bats. Not going up there overly aggressive, not chasing early in the count. Last year he finished second in the National League in pitches seen per plate appearance. This year he's seeing more pitches per plate appearance than last year. 2-0 pitch, and Yelich pulls on the ground. A diving stop by the first baseman. Trumbo to his right, gets up, flips to the pitcher covering. Yelich is out 3-1. Stanton takes third, but there are 2 outs now. Good defensive play by Trumbo. Started first base today. So we'll see if Justin Bour can deliver a big 2-out RBI as he did in the first inning, when he singled through the left side. Brought home Giancarlo with the third Marlins run of that inning. Got a Pepsi trivia question for you. Pepsi, live for now. Dave mentioned that Archie Bradley beat a reigning Cy Young Award winner, Clayton Kershaw, in his first major league start. Doesn't happen very often. Pitch to Bour is low on the ball. Before Bradley, who was the last pitcher to beat a reigning Cy Young Award winner in his first major league start? And I'll give you a hint. He's in uniform in this ballpark today. 0-1 pitch to Bour in the dirt. Good stop by Pacheco. Knocked that one down, kept it in front of him. Looking for the last pitcher before Archie Bradley to win his major league debut, beating a reigning Cy Young Award winner in the process. Here today, he's actually wearing one of the white uniforms. 1-1 to Bour is fouled back. The ball and 2 strikes. What a job Bour's done. 15 hits and 33 at bats since coming from AAA, hitting .455. Making his 6th start of the season today. He's gone 7 for 18 in his starts. 1-2 pitch is taken for strike 3 called. He thought the pitch might have been in. Spun around, took a look at Tom Hallion, but Bradley escapes the inning despite the leadoff walk and a wild pitch. Marlins got in the third. They leave a man. 3 innings in the books. It's Miami 3, the D-backs 2. This is Marlins Baseball on the Marlins Radio Network. 7-game homestand. Marlins 0-6 so far against the Braves and D-backs. Chris Owings will lead off inning number 4 against Matt Latos. Had his first 1-2-3 inning in the third. Needed only 13 pitches to set down the side. Right-hander into the motion as Owings digs in from the right side. Good breaking ball, slow curve, swing and a miss, strike one. Owings bounced out to the first baseman Bohr leading off the second inning. 1 for 10 now in the series. The 0-1 from Latos. That's outside and low for a ball. You can hit a home run for the homeless. Text the word club, CLUB, to 30321 to join the Miami Rescue Mission's Meals a Month Club. Your monthly donation can feed the hungry. 1-1 now to Owings. Taken for a strike. Owings gets to start at second base here today. His 27th start at second base. He started 6 games at shortstop as well. They've got Nick Ahmed playing shortstop. They've got Aaron Hill seeing time at second base and third base. Remember last year they had Didi Gregorius at shortstop. Gregorius, the man who this year replaces Derek Jeter at shortstop for the Yankees. Pitches outside and low. They loved Gregorius' glove. They rave now about Ahmed's glove. They're very high on Chris Owings as well. Awaiting the 2-2 pitch from Latos out of the windup from the first base side of the rubber. He's into the motion now. And the pitch, did he go? Yes, he did. He tried to hold up. But Owings is rung up by the home plate umpire, Tom Hallion. It's another strikeout for Latos. Yeah, 2 in the third inning. Gets the leadoff man here in the fourth. That's 5 Ks this afternoon. Latos' season high, 6. In Washington back on May 5th. So I got 6 over 6 in the third. Gets you to the 3-2 lead in the fourth. Now, here's Jordan Pacheco, the catcher. Singled and scored in the second inning. Seeing his first action of the series. And the fights went off foul to the right, strike one. Pacheco, former Rocky, making his 10th start of the season behind the plate. He shares time with Tuffy Goswish. Pacheco's also played 7 innings at first base this year. He's played 1 inning at third base. He was a catcher in the minors, got to the big leagues with the Rockies, and played mostly first and third. He's back behind the plate, and he hits one off the fist out into short right center. Stanton on the move, makes the sliding catch. Good play, Giancarlo, to get Pacheco for the second out here in the fourth inning. Here's Pacheco out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Kind of on Marie Schrader. 2 outs, base is empty. Here's the number 8 man, Cliff Pennington, to the plate. Pennington gets to start at short today. Walked his first time. When he walked, I mentioned he's been a very cold hitter. 0 for his last 17. He's 3 for his last 27. Switch hitter back to the left side, takes high on the ball. Making his 5th start of the season at short for the D-backs this afternoon. Got a lot of movable pieces on this roster. A lot of flexibility for manager Chip Hale. 1-0 pitch to Pennington, swing and a miss. Hale in his first year at the helm here, 50 years old, replaces Kirk Gibson, who managed the D-backs for 4+ seasons. Hale's not new to this organization, though. He's been a D-back in the past as Pennington fights one off foul to the left. Chip Hale managed in the minors between 2000 and 2006. Served as a third base coach and an infield instructor between 2007 and 2009. He went on to the Mets a couple of years as a third base coach there, 2010 and 2011. 1-2 pitch, check swing, and Pennington takes low. Then to the A's, he was Bob Melvin's bench coach the last 3 years in Oakland. He's out of the University of Arizona, Chip Hale. Spent parts of 7 years in the big league between 89 and 97. Pitches low on the ball to Pennington. Chip Hale has played all 4 infield positions in the 33 big league games. So there's a guy who knows a thing or two about versatility. Played for the Twins and the Dodgers. He's the 6th full-time manager in D-backs history. Remember Buck Showalter back in the beginning. Bob Brenly won the World Series in Arizona. Brenly now doing TV for the D-backs. Bob Melvin, A.J. Hinch, and most recently Kirk Gibson. 3-2 to Pennington, and it's hit on the ground to the right of the second baseman. Picked up neatly by Gordon, throws low to first, but Ford digs it out, and it's a second consecutive 1-2-3 inning for Latos, who's now retired 7 straight since Inciarte's RBI single in the second inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Marlins 3, Arizona Diamondbacks 2 on the Marlins Radio Network.
The 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot is here. Head to MLB.com/vote to choose this year's stars and help send them to the All-Star Game on July 14th in Cincinnati. Vote early and vote often to put your stamp on the Midsummer Classic.
Chase Field for a 3-game series July 20th, 21st, and 22nd, part of the first road trip coming out of the All-Star break. That'll wrap up the 7-game season series between these two teams. The Marlins out of the National League East, D-backs out of the National League West, where right now they're looking up at the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Padres in the division standings. JT Realmuto is going to lead off the Marlins' fourth. He hit into a fielder's choice to end the first inning. JT hit his first major league home run Monday night against these D-backs. The catcher is taken for a strike. Broadcast brought in part by Geico, proud to celebrate over 75 years of saving people money in their car insurance. For a free rate quote, visit Geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Fly ball will hit center field, back toward the home run sculpture, and chasing. Pollock can't get it, takes a carom off that wall. Realmuto around second, digging for a triple, and he's in standing up with a 3-base hit. Third triple of the season for JT Realmuto. A wonderfully athletic catcher, runs well. And the Marlins are business here in the fourth inning. Got the leadoff man at third now. They'll look to Adeiny Etch of Rhea to try to pick him up. Etch has been a better RBI man really going into this season than he'd been in the past. This is a spot where he'd love to see him get this man in. He's knocked in 19 runs in the team's first 41 games. And the pitch to him is inside and low, ball one, as the D-backs pull the infield in at the corners. Trumbo at first, Tomas at third. They're halfway up the middle, Owens and Pennington. Etch had 34 RBIs all year last year. 1-0 pitch is low on a ball. He's looking for number 20 here this afternoon. A season ago to pick up his 20th RBI until July 28th in his 105th game of the year. He's the one and only Marlin who's played in every game so far this year, 42 for 42. Ichiro's streak ended last night. 2-0 pitch to Etch, and it's driven out towards center field. Pollock to his left can make the catch. Realmuto tags. He'll come home. There won't be a throw. So it is RBI number 20 for Etch. It's a sac fly, and the Marlins extend the lead to 4-2. Marlins cash in the leadoff triple. Now with one out, bases empty. Matt Latos coming up. Marlins.com is your one-stop shop for breaking news, tickets, sweepstakes, merchandise, and more. Sign up for free Marlins email or text alerts so you can receive year-round Marlins coverage, offers, and discounts. Go to Marlins.com to become a Marlins Insider today. A lot of folks listen to our broadcast on Marlins.com today. Pitches low, ball 1 to Latos. I've gotten tweets in the last couple of minutes from one fan in England, another one from a fan in Glasgow, Scotland, listening to the broadcast. 1-0 is lined through the left side. That's the 4th hit of the year for Matt Latos. Latos has been more productive at the plate than any Marlins pitcher so far this year. He's now 4 for 9 as a hitter, and he also picked up his 6th sacrifice bunt earlier in the ball game today. He's got an RBI. So Matt Latos helping the cause. Base hit number 7 for the Marlins, who came into this game hitting 140 over the last 4 games, averaging 4.5 hits per game in the last 4. In losing 9 of 10, the Marlins had hit 218 coming into this one. Now D. Gordon with Latos at first, 1 out. Third baseman Tomas in close, and D takes a strike. D walked and scored in the first. Hit one off the leg of the pitcher Bradley that shot over to the second baseman, and Owings threw him out 1-4-3 in the second. D's bat has cooled a little bit in recent days. He's below 400 now for the first time since late April. The 0-1 to Gordon. It's a strike over the outside edge, 0-2. He's in safely in 31 of the 38 games which he's played this year, but just 1 for 13 in this series and only 4 hits in his last 23 at-bats. Came in today hitting .395. That's the lowest his average has been since April 27th. Latos short lead from first. The 0-2, swing and a miss. D chased one down and out of the zone, and he strikes out. 3 Ks for Archie Bradley. 2 outs now to get from Marcelo Ozuna, a single and 2 at-bats. We asked you our Pepsi trivia question. Before Archie Bradley beat Clayton Kershaw in his Major League debut earlier this year, who was the last big league pitcher to beat a reigning Cy Young Award winner in his first ever Major League game? Told you he's here today. He's wearing a Marlins white uniform as Ozuna swings and misses. The answer is Jared Cozart. Cozart, pitching for the Astros back in 2013, beat Tampa Bay's David Price in his Major League debut. They will never forget. 0-1 to Ozuna. Ground ball sharply hit to the left of the shortstop. Picked up by Pennington. Goes a short way to second for the force on Latos. That'll do it for the Marlins in the 4th. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. On to the 5th. So far, so good. Marlins 4, D-backs 2 on the Marlins Radio Network. A 6-game losing streak. Archie Bradley, Ender Inciarte, and A.J. Pollock coming up here. If the Marlins score 5, you score 50% off your
retire online order tomorrow at papajohns.com using promo code Marlins5. It's valid online only at participating South Florida Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza. papajohns.com.
I like their chances right now. Hadn't scored more than 3 in a game on this homestand before this afternoon.
Yeah, Marlins with 4 on the board. The pitch to Bradley. And it's in there for a strike. He struck out trying to bunt in the second inning, up here for the second time. And the pitch. And a called strikeout or edge. 0-2 the count on Bradley. Outfield shortens up a bit for Bradley. Infield back, standard defense there. Prado off the line at third. 0-2 on Archie Bradley. Now 1 for 10 with bat in hand in the big leagues. The Seattle Oriole game has gone to the second inning at Baltimore with a 4-1 Oriole lead. Here's the 0-2, and that's low. Houston and Detroit scoreless in the bottom of the second. Cardinals and Mets scoreless bottom of the second at Citi Field. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that's all for Bradley. 1 away here, and that's 6 strikeouts now for Latos.
And 8 straight retired since the RBI single of Inciarte in the second. We questioned which pitcher would settle down after the shaky beginnings, and they both had. Latos seems to be the guy.
6 strikeouts, matching Latos' single game high for this year. Struck out 6 Washington Nationals on May 5th. Here's the pitch, fouled away off to the left side. A game that Matt won 2-1.
His personal best is 13. He's got 2 lifetime 13 strikeout games, 1 against the Diamondbacks back in 2013 in Phoenix.
The pitch to Inciarte. He tried to bunt, missed it, and a strike, and it's 0-2 on Inciarte. Interesting thing about the Real Muto triple, which led to the Marlins' 4th run when Etch delivered the sac fly. Here's the 0-2, and it's low and inside. JT Real Muto, the Marlins catcher, is from Midwest City, Oklahoma. Just east of Oklahoma City. Here's the 1-2 and a ground ball to the right side foul. And he was an outstanding high school quarterback, as was Archie Bradley. Oklahoma State was interested in Real Muto as a 2-sport pitch over the inside, and that's all for the batter Inciarte, who complains vociferously there to the plate umpire Tom Hallion.
Talking about JT, I mentioned his athleticism. That's now 4 career triples for Real Muto, who doesn't have that much time in the big leagues, playing just his 41st game today. Only 2 Marlins catchers ever have hit more triples wearing the Marlins uniform. Benito Santiago at 8, Miguel Olivo 7.
The pitch to Pollock is fouled at the plate.
JT now tied with Greg Zahn for 3rd on the all-time catchers triples list. That's a chart that nobody checks on a pretty regular basis.
I keep that in my pocket at all times.
You always want to have it. You never know when it might come up in conversation.
Yes. Latos has retired Pollock twice on fly balls, 1 to left, 1 to center. The pitch swung on and missed, and Latos with a breaking ball had some good late movement on it, but he was able to get by Pollock. Pollock, who's had a good series here. Well, the Diamondbacks have had a good series. They've won the first 3 games of this 4-game series. Pollock 4 for 13 now in the series. The pitch outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Latos to A.J. Pollock. Pollock very careful not to take himself all the way out of the batter's box. Kept 1 foot in, but stepped away. 2 down, nobody on base, and here comes the 1-2. And this ball is lifted out into the gap in left center. That's a base hit. Yelich will pick it up. Pollock trying for 2. The throw is not going to get him. Yelich on that particular throw, the kind of throw that you make when you're just getting the ball back in, not the kind of throw that you make when you're hoping to gun down a runner. So a double for Pollock. It's his 6th of the season. And it comes with 2 outs here in the 5th and brings David Peralta up, who has struck out twice. Had a couple of birthdays to mention today, which we do from time to time on a fairly regular basis. But these caught my eye today because 3 former Marlins all celebrating a birthday somewhere today. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul. No, did he miss it? It was fouled at the plate. Pollock took off for 3rd. They're going to send him back to 2nd.
And Prado was telling him, you got to go back. He wasn't going to take Martine's word. He was looking at his third base coach, Andy Green, and he waited until Bruce Dreckman, the third base umpire, came over and told him for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say,
smart play.
He doubted Andy Green, too. He waited for Dreckman to say, go back to 2nd. Which I suppose may be the smart move. 0-1 on Peralta. Trying to drive in a run here. They're down by a couple, the Diamondbacks are. The pitch is low. Jacob Turner, Andrew Miller, and Ed Lucas all celebrating birthdays today. So happy birthday, guys, all 3 former Marlins. Hall of Fame manager Bobby Cox celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Bobby. 1-1 to Peralta. The pitch on the way. A swing and a pop up down the left field line. Going back toward foul ground. Prado, his back to the infield, reaches up, and Prado caught the ball, stumbled, fell down, and he held on to the ball. What a marvelous play by Martin Prado. Back to home plate, down into foul ground, and stayed with it and made the catch for out number 3, stranding the runner. 4-2 Marlins midway in the 5th on the Marlins Radio Network.
Hey, Dio.
Five coming to bat. Stanton, Prado, and Yelich against Archie Bradley. Stanton with a single in the first inning. Knocked in a run, scored a run, walked in the 3rd, got stranded. First pitch, ball 1 to Stanton, and overshift to the left side. 3 infielders on the left side of the infield. And only Mark Trumbo remains on the right side for Stanton. The outfielder, David Peralta, plays deep, almost directly in front of the Clevelander. So a big shift for the big man. Ball 2. The pitch, and it's high and a ball. The ballpark where Stanton has hit some tape measure home runs again this year, as he has in the past. Here's a 3-0 and a called strike. He pulled one down the left field line and broke the auxiliary scoreboard up above the left field bleachers a couple of years ago. He's hit one off the Budweiser bow tie bar in left center over the 427 sign, bounced it off the bar up there. He's hit a couple to dead center field. Here's the pitch, and he pops this one up, and the catcher is going to make a play on this. Pacheco up to the left of the home plate area has got it. The point being that Stanton has left his mark all over the ballpark. He's hit him to right field, directly down the line, and all the way to left field, and some titanic blasts to center field here. Strong young man. This time around, popped it up to the catcher. There's that old baseball expression, that pop-up might have been a home run in an elevator shaft. Here's Prado, 1 out of 2, and a ground ball, base hit up the middle. 2 out of 3 now as Prado singles. And that'll bring Yelich up to the plate. Martin Prado, for the first 13 games of this season, was batting either 5th or 4th. He hit 4th 7 games. In his career, he has batted 4th 63 times. It's not a new position for him, but we saw him a great deal of the time in the number 2 spot this season, as well as number 4. And Dan Jennings has him back in the 4th spot. Martin Prado. Yelich is 0 for 2. He's hit into a double play, and he's grounded out to first. And he pulls the ball through, and a single to right field. Hitting the bag at 7, setting sail for third is Prado, and Yelich has a base hit. He has been struggling into the game at 179. And this is a young player. Yelich is only 23 years old. Justin Bohr is going to be the batter. Yelich just 23 years old. Last year, Yelich batted .284. Drove in 54 runs, had 30 doubles. And so far this year has 2 doubles. And an ERA, our batting average right now, just about 180. And I'm looking at the pitch count here for Bradley. It's up to 78 pitches. That's Mike Harkey, the pitching coach, talking with him. Mike Harkey, who coached here briefly one season, the Joe Girardi season in Miami. But that was at the football stadium, not here at Marlins Park. And Mike Harkey, who was a bullpen coach with the Marlins, pitching coach of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Big man, good pitcher in his own right for big leagues. 4-2 Marlins, and runners at first and third with 1 out. Moore singled in the first inning, called out on strikes in the third inning. They're going to set the target away from Justin Bohr. And a quick throw to first base has Yelich diving back in. There's another number we should mention with Yelich. He's 4 out of 5 in stealing bases. Had 21 steals last year. Last year was his first full year in the big league. Yelich steps off the lead. Prado at third. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And 1 strike on Justin Bohr. The 5th inning of our radio broadcast is presented by Subway. New Simple 6 menu. Choose from 6 6-inch subs and made just for you meals for just $6 every day. Subway, eat fresh. Justin Bohr gets himself set now in the batter's box. 0-1 will be coming to him from Archie Bradley. Bradley with a long hold. Still holding. somebody's going to call time, and Bohr did. Justin Bohr is strong. One of the impressive things about Bohr, he looks like a power hitter, and he does hit with power. Here's the pitch, and it's in there for a strike. He's 6'4", 250. One of the things that has impressed us, keep in mind we only saw him for 39 games last year, and now a little bit this year, Bohr today playing in his 21st game, is that he uses the whole field. Thus, with Bohr up there, you see a healthy batting average. .441 right now. Yelich at first, Prado at third. An opportunity for Bohr. And Bradley trying to come up with a double play ball. He backed off the pitching rubber, and Bohr will get back in there. Justin Bohr in the minor leagues has hit as many as 23 home runs. His pitch is swung on and missed, and he's down on strikes. He actually tipped that ball right into the mid of Jordan Pacheco. Bohr, who came up in the Cub organization, hit 23 homers at Daytona in 2011. That's a big out for Bradley. Striking out Bohr, 2 down, and here's JT Realmuto. So one star high school quarterback faces the other. Bradley down by a couple of runs, trying to manage this inning with runners at first and third. Tosses again to check Yelich over there at first base. Speaking of the Cubs, how about their win at Petco last night, a 3-2 Chicago win. 5 relief pitchers pitched 4 1/3 innings of shutout ball to win that game. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. They started Tsuyoshi Wada. His first start of the year has been out with a groin injury. And Wada just went 4 1/3, so didn't qualify for the win. The bullpen took over, and the Cubs beat the Padres at Petco 3-2. The Cubs will be the next opponent for these Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks fly back to Phoenix today and start a series with the Cubs. Here's a foul ball back into the seats. Diamondbacks series with the Cubs gets underway tomorrow night. So no rest for the weary. Day game here, flight home, and play tomorrow night against Chicago. There's a throw to first base. And for the Diamondbacks, it's a quick turnaround. Time to empty the suitcase and load it again, because after the Sunday game against the Cubs, they're on the road again, heading to St. Louis and Milwaukee. So that is what lies ahead for the Diamondbacks after this game this afternoon in Miami. Marlins up 4-2 here, looking to give the manager Dan Jennings his first win as a manager. Pitch fouled back onto the netting. JT Realmuto in the first inning grounded to shortstop to end the inning. They got the force on Bohr at second base to end that first when the Marlins put 3 on the board. Then Realmuto led off the last inning with the triple, scored on the Adeiny Echeverria sacrifice fly, and he's trying to come up with a big 2-out hit right here against Bradley. The Arizona right-hander from the high set, and a quick move to first base. Yelich again back safely. Next steal for Yelich will be number 5. While the Diamondbacks have been successful running the bases in this series, the Marlins have had one problem and then another, either with caught stealings or pickoffs. believe the count now is up to 5 times in the series. The Marlins base runner's been thrown out. 4 picked on. 1-2 the count on Real Muto. Bradley here in this 5th inning, and the pitch count at 84. Slowing things to try to get out of this. And Real Muto lines the ball to the shortstop, Cliff Pennington. Hit it right on the nose, but a line drive to short to end the inning. And Bradley gets away with a couple of singles, stranding runners at first and third. Miami 4, Arizona 2, and we've completed 5 at Marlins Park on the Marlins Radio Network.
Diamondbacks fans, the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot is here. Head to MLB.com/vote to choose this year's stars and help send them to the All-Star Game on July 14th in Cincinnati. Vote early and vote often to put your stamp on the Midsummer Classic.
The longest outing so far for Latos, 7 innings, and that was against the Giants out at AT&T Park on May 10th. He had a no decision, the Marlins 3-2 loss, but he pitched really well. 1 run on 7 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out 5 in those 7 innings, and that's his longest outing of this season. And it marked the 2nd time in a game that he's thrown as many as 100 pitches. He faces Yasmani Tomas here. Tomas, 24 years old, 6'2", 255. The pitch, and a line drive base hit to center field. Tomas is 2 out of 3 against Latos on the day. And a hit to start out this 6th inning for the Diamondbacks.
It's his 6th consecutive multiple hit game. He's red hot.
Trumbo has grounded to short and struck out. So an opportunity for the Diamondbacks. Trumbo the tying run. He's hit a half a dozen home runs. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Marlins. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Diamondbacks. Latos, while he was born in Virginia, of course, grew up here in South Florida. Pitches in there called strike. Fort Lauderdale. Out of Coconut Creek High School on to Broward Community College. Then drafted by the Pods. 1 strike on Trumbo. Double play depth on the Marlins infield. Bohr holds the runner. And the pitch on the way. And it's down in the dirt again. And it rolls away from Real Muto off to the left. And advancing to second. Doing away with the ground ball double play on what I think is going to be ruled a wild pitch. We'll see. It is a wild pitch. And that's the 2nd time that a wild pitch has advanced a Diamondbacks runner.
2 wild pitches, a pass ball, a stolen base, giving away too many chunks of 90 feet at a time.
Yeah. Timeout. Real Muto wants to talk to Latos. Nestled away from the sounds of the city, and quiet greens and fast fairways are available. 27-hole golfer's paradise, Miccosukee Golf and Country Club, open to members of the public. Annual membership also available. Book a tee time at Miccosukee.com. Real Muto back behind the plate. Trumbo in the batter's box. And Latos from that low set position stands tall on the hill. The pitch, and it is off the inside corner and low. 2 balls and a strike. The Diamondbacks put a run on the board in the first inning against Latos, but the Marlins came back with 3 in the bottom of the first against Archie Bradley. 2-1, and that pitch missed down and in. The Diamondbacks put another run up in the second inning against Latos. The stolen base set a run up. And the Marlins tacked on their 4th run in the 4th inning with that Real Muto triple and the Echeverria sac fly. So 4-2 Marlins here, and there's a walk to Trumbo. First and second. Tying run is Trumbo. Chris Owings coming up. He's 0 for 2. Owings has grounded out to first base and struck out. Chris Owings, a 23-year-old infielder. We've seen him at short and second in this series. He's 1 for 11 in the series. Big Mound Conference out there. The gentleman in the Marlins warm-up jacket is Chuck Hernandez, the pitching coach, talking with Matt Latos.
Steve Cishek loosening in the bullpen for the Marlins. Cishek, who we've seen for 2 innings twice since he lost the closer's job, at least temporarily. Could be called upon another big spot at some point here.
Nobody out. So the big deal on the mound broken up. I say a big deal because not only the pitching coach out there and the catcher, but all 4 members of the infield were there as well. Owings back into the batter's box. He's got a couple of homers, 10 batted in. And the set. Here comes Latos to the plate, and it's bunted. Third base side. Latos up with it, and the ball stuck in his glove, and he doesn't get anybody out. Prado was waiting for the throw. The whole design was to get the runner at third base. We saw in that mound conference Latos talking to Prado, the last thing that was said before they broke the crowd up. And Latos got to it in time and then could not get the ball out of the glove. Couldn't get a grip. Look at this problem. And then he decided, I better not throw, and that was probably a good decision, but a poor play, poor result, unable to get his hands firmly around that ball to make a throw to third. So now the bases are full with nobody out. Here's the pitch. And a swing here by Pacheco. And a fly ball to center field. That should get 1 run in. Ozuna makes the catch. And here comes Tomas. He'll score. And now it's a 1-run game, 4-3. Marlins on top by 1. Sacrifice fielder's choice, I think, is the way they went with Owings.
Yes. And now you've got the same situation. That's what they did. Same situation Bradley was in the first inning. You talk about minimizing the damage here. You get the first out, and then in first and second, you've got the number 8 man at the plate, potentially a pinch hitter on deck. And here comes, looks like Paul Goldschmidt out of the dugout. But a good spot for Latos with the 1-run lead now.
The pitch to Pennington, who has walked and grounded out. Change-up missing, ball 1. Pacheco collected his 8th RBI with that sac fly. So at number 7 hitter and the backup catcher. There's a ball line down the right field line. That's going to go all the way to the corner. And here comes Trumbo. Owings to third is held up there on the double by Cliff Pennington, the number 8 hitter. And the Diamondbacks have tied it up here and have runners in position to take the lead.
Number 8 hitter who had been 0 for his last 18 into that at bat.
His second double of the year. His second RBI of the year. Ties the game at 4. And it would appear that they're going to make a change here. Dan Jennings out to talk to the plate umpire, so it'll be a double switch. And that's going to end the day for Matt Latos after 5 1/3 innings. And Justin Bour comes out of the game.
We'll get Jeff Baker to go to first base with Cishek coming on.
So there's your change. Baker to first base. Steve Cishek comes on. And Latos out of the game. 4-4 tie here in the 6th inning. Marlins make a pitching change. We'll take a break on the Marlins Radio Network. Cishek has given up 14 earned runs on 20 hits. Got 13 strikeouts. He's walked 9. Batters hitting .308 against Steve Cishek. So a big double from Pennington to tie the game up. Owings to third base. Pennington at second base. And Aaron Hill to pinch hit. And Hill takes high from Cishek and ball 1. This is a big test for Steve Cishek, isn't it? It seems like every time out now is a big test for him. He wants to get things straightened out. He'd love to get another opportunity at the closer role. Here's the pitch. And a high pop fly behind first base in foul ground and about 6 rows back into the seats there that Jeff Baker, the new first baseman, was looking for. Aaron Hill batting .260. 3 homers, 12 batted in overall. Off the bench for the Diamondbacks, Hill has gone 3 for 7. Veteran player, Aaron Hill. 33 years old. The pitch to Hill way outside in his 11th Major League season. 2 balls and a strike to Hill. Pinch hitting for the pitcher, and Enciarte is on deck, the top of the order. The pitch swung on and missed. 2 balls and a couple of strikes here now to Aaron Hill. Cishek sets, deals. He'll swing, and he pops the ball into left center. Let's see if that's deep enough to get it done. Ozuna's got a pretty good arm. Here comes a runner. Here comes a throw. And at the plate, safe by an eyelash. Chris Owings. Well, you know, if Ozuna has that kind of a run on a ball, he's going to make a strong, strong throw. He did, but not in time to get Owens as the Diamondbacks take a 5-4 lead. That run is charged to Latos, the Marlins starter. So the pinch hitter Hill comes through with a sac fly for out number 2. That's the second sac fly of the inning. Good job of getting runners in by the Diamondbacks. And here's a line drive base hit with 2 outs for Enciarte, his 3rd hit of the game. He drives in Pennington, and it's now a 6-4 lead for the Diamondbacks. And another bad inning for Steve Cishek. That brings A.J. Pollock up with Enciarte at first base with his 3rd hit. Pollock 1 out of 3. Doubled his last time. Cishek throwing to first to move Enciarte back to the bag. Enciarte has 5 stolen bases in 8 attempts. The Diamondbacks setting a club record last night with 7 steals here against the Marlins. Another quick move to first base. Dave McKay, first base coach, over to talk briefly with Enciarte. The pitch. And it's bunted at by Pollock, and he bunted right through it. That was a bunt attempt for a single. Well, you could see Cishek's reaction on that hit by Enciarte before the ball even hit the ground when it jumped off the bat. Cishek showing the frustration out there. Here's the pitch. And a bounding ball to the left side, picked up by Echeverria, thrown over to first base for the 3rd out. Pollock retired 6-3. But in the 6th inning, the Diamondbacks were behind 4-2. They exit their half of the 6th inning with a 6-4 lead. You're listening to the Marlins Radio Network. Well, we're into the 6th inning, and Danny Echeverria will be leading it off for the Marlins, and then Jeff Baker, who's taken over at first base. Randall Delgado into the game in relief of Archie Bradley for the Diamondbacks. For Delgado, His 16th appearance, a 1-2 record at a 3.44 ERA. He's worked 18 1/3 innings out of their bullpen. 17 strikeouts in the 18 1/3. Echeverria stands in. 1 for 1 and a sac fly, and the pitch to him and a called strike. Marlins baseball brought to you in part by Geico. If you want an easy way to see if you can save money on car insurance, Geico's got 3. 1-800-947, online at geico.com, or stop by the Geico office nearest you. Ground ball to short and a throw to first base, and that's all for Adeiny Echeverria. Delgado retires his first man. Jeff Baker up for the first time, just into the game. Again, part of that double switch. Goes into the pitcher's spot. And Justin Bour's position in the order, number 6, becomes the pitcher's spot. And Baker, right-hand batter, gets in there. The pitch to Baker. And it's low and outside, and a ball. Baker up against Delgado. For Baker, 6 for 19 on the year, a .316 average. This is just the 18th game he's played in, and he hits a ball down the right field line, racing over the right fielder into foul ground, unable to make a play on the ball. Inciarte with a hard run trying to catch up to that. One ball, one strike to Jeff Baker. While the Diamondbacks leave after the game and return to Phoenix, the Marlins remain at home. They've got the Baltimore Orioles coming in here. Another big test for the Marlins. The pitch is outside and a ball. And unless the Marlins do something about this 2-run deficit in the 6th inning of the game, they could be facing the Orioles, having lost 7 in a row. And to be honest, when we started this season, in spite of being concerned about some areas on the ball club, we didn't think this was a team that could lose 7 in a row. There's a ball bounced to the left side, charged by the third baseman. Barehand pickup by Tomas, and he sails the ball on one hop up into the seats behind first. So Baker gets an infield hit and goes to second on E5. And for Tomas, he's made some really nice plays over there at third base, but he's just made his 3rd error of this season. Runner at second for D. Gordon at the top of the order, and Gordon, who walked and scored in the first, has not had a hit today. Hit a comebacker off the leg of the pitcher, Archie Bradley, in the 2nd inning, a carom that Owings picked up and threw Gordon out at first base. And then D batted again in the 4th inning and struck out. Into the game leading the majors with 64 hits, including 18 multiple hit games. But just .256 in his last 9, and just 3 hits in his last 23 at-bats. First slump of the season for D. Gordon. They're in at first and third. One strike pitch coming up from Delgado. And a fastball missed inside at 94 miles an hour. Marcell Ozuna is on deck. 7:10 tomorrow night for the Orioles, 7:15 Saturday, 1:10 Sunday for that 3-game series. The pitch fouled away. For the fans out here for the 7:15 Saturday game, they've got a deal. Fans 21 and older can get the Beer Fest package and enjoy beer sampling at the Clevelander 3 hours before the game. That'll get underway. We should be out there for that, Gep, but we'll be here in the booth. 1-2. The pitch swung on and missed, and Gordon, down on strikes, chased a ball out of the zone. And Gordon has struck out his last 2 times up. And he's feeling frustration on 2 fronts. One, the overall team slump, and his own personal slump right now.
Well, he's got company, unfortunately.
Yes, he does.
He's not alone.
Ozuna singled, scored a run in the first inning. Since then, he's hit the ball on the ground twice. Last time forced Lathos at second base. Here's a ball line to center field, base hit. Here comes Baker around third. The throw to the plate offline. Baker will score. And Ozuna drives in a run. He picks up his 12th run batted in of the season. The Marlins pull to within one at 6-5 on the 2-out hit by Marcell Ozuna. Here's Giancarlo. Giancarlo 1 out of 2 with a walk today. We were talking several times in the past few weeks about the name Giancarlo. Pitches low and inside. We have heard national broadcasters say Giancarlo, over and over, and it's simple. It's Giancarlo. Just in case you were wondering, having heard some of those other pronunciations.
Like a ZH at the beginning.
Giancarlo Stanton. Two balls, no strikes to Giancarlo. The pitch on the way, and that's low.
We could initiate a grassroots campaign to
get it right.
Get it right. You hear somebody say it wrong, tweet them. Send them a letter.
It would be a grassroots campaign, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Get Marlins Nation, making the people around the country get it right.
His given name is Giancarlo Cruz Michael Stanton. And for the start of his career, as you know, he went by Mike Stanton or Michael Stanton. Pitch is a called strike outside edge. Basically Mike, which by the way is his dad's name. But he decided to go with his given name, his given first name being Giancarlo, and he decided he wanted to be Giancarlo Stanton. Pitch swung on and missed. 3-2 now.
And while we get it going at the grassroots level, by the way, it's Echeverria and Real Muto. Let people know. Doesn't have to be our little secret.
No, you still hear Echeverria from time to time. Pitch low and outside. Giancarlo's on with a walk. So now the tying run goes to second. Ozuna. Stanton at first base. Martin Prado. Prado's 2 out of 3. Hammered a ball hard up the middle his last time up. Here comes Mike Harkey again, this time to visit Randall Delgado. So while Harkey talks to Delgado and Pacheco, we wait for Martin Prado to bat. The question is asked, how do you capture the flaky, buttery lightness of your favorite breakfast sandwich? By saying croissantwich. Sounds simple, speaking pronunciation. Now get 2 for $4 at Burger King. Restrictions apply. Non-conference over. Prado will get in. Randall Delgado in a bind now. Marlins have pulled to within 1 run. That's the tying run at second. Go ahead run at first, and the pitch. And it's low, and ball 1 to Martin Prado. Martin Prado, who broke in with the Atlanta Braves. Played in the fall of 2006 with them. A little bit again in 07, then became pretty much a regular in Atlanta. Moved around, played several positions, was not an everyday starter until his last couple of years with the Braves. Pitches low. Delgado falls behind 2-0 on Martin Prado. But Martin, wherever he was playing on the field, always did a good job for the Braves. 320 average in 08, 307 in 09, 307 again in 2010.
These two, Delgado and Prado, went from the Braves to the D-backs together in the January 2013 trade that sent Justin Upton and Chris Johnson from Arizona to Atlanta.
They certainly know one another, don't they? Prado 2 for 3 today. That was against the starter, Archie Bradley. This is Delgado's first inning in relief. The pitch, and the ball lined out into right center. That's going to tie the game. Here comes Ozuna. Stanton digging for third, and he'll be held there by Brett Butler. The Marlins tie it at 6 on the hit by Prado, his third hit of the day. These last 2 hits and the walk all coming with 2 outs. Martin Prado picks up his 16th RBI. Here is Christian Yelich. And here comes Chip Hale to take the ball from Randall Delgado. So the Diamondbacks make yet another pitching change. And we'll take a break. Pitching change being made by Arizona. We'll be back in a moment on the Marlins Radio Network. Marlins Prado and Stanton.
Well, last year, Christian Yelich hit .317 against lefty pitchers. Only 2 other left-handed batters in the league, Ben Revere and Brandon Crawford, had a better average against lefties than Yelich. This year, though, it's been a different story. He's just 1 for 14 against lefties. So Chip Hale playing the percentages here, trying to get out of the inning and maintain a tie.
16th appearance for Chafin, 1-0, a 4.87 ERA. He's worked 20 and a third innings. He's given up 21 hits, 11 earned runs. So the assignment for Chafin here is get the last out of this inning. We're tied at 6. 6 runs, 12 hits for Miami. 6 runs, 8 hits for Arizona. And Chafin, the left-hander, looks in. 6'2", 223. This year, the lefties have only batted .200 against him. And there's a bouncing ball off the glove of Chafin. Backhanded by the second baseman Owings. Thrown over to the shortstop for an out at second base on a very close play there on Martin Prado. Prado standing right there on the bag, and I'll bet the Marlins are going to want to take a look at this. And we'll see what kind of information Dan Jennings gets. Does he get the word to challenge or not to challenge? That is the question before us.
They're not going to challenge.
And it's been answered. They are not going to challenge this call at second base. What an out for Chafin and the Diamondbacks. We're tied, headed to the 7th inning. 6-6 in Miami on the Marlins Radio Network. went up to tickets VIP style. Other cool prizes. Get in the game at MajesticJerseyDay.com. Jeff?
In a 6-6 game, 7th inning, David Peralta takes strike one from Steve Cishek out there to begin his first full inning of relief. Lefty hitter on 0-1 takes outside in the ball. Cishek came on in a 4-4 game, men at second and third, one out in the 6th inning. Gave up a sac fly to pinch hitter Aaron Hill. That gave the D-backs a 5-4 lead at that point. Then Ender Inciarte singled home the 6th run before Steve got out of the inning, inducing a ground out from A.J. Pollock. Now 2-1 to Peralta. But the Marlins came right back in the bottom of the 6th, scored 2 of their own against Randall Delgado. So all knotted up here in the 7th. 2-1 to Peralta is taken for a strike. David Peralta, coming out of Venezuela, signed originally by the Cardinals as a pitcher in 2004. Pitched 3 rookie league seasons, had 2 shoulder surgeries. Spent all of 08 rehabbing. Pitches outside to run the count full to Peralta. And he retired from baseball at the age of 21 in 2009 before a couple of years later getting the bug, and he tried to come back as an outfielder. Now here he is in the big leagues. 3-2 to Peralta is taken for a strike 3 call. Didn't like the call from Tom Hallian. So Peralta is 0 for 4 with 3 Ks today. He's been swinging a hot bat coming in. And there's one out in the 7th for Yasmani Tomas. The route to the big leagues with the position change for Peralta began playing independent league baseball. In the North American Baseball League, he was with the Rio Grande Valley White Wings. He then went to the American Association, another independent league, pitched for the Wichita Wingnuts and the Amarillo Sox. Finally signed on with the D-backs in 2013, pitched an A-ball in 2013, got to Double-A to start last year and finished last year in the big leagues. David Peralta, remarkable story as Tomas looks at ball 1.
Quite a tour.
That is quite a tour. 1-0 pitch to Tomas in the air, short center, playable for Marcelo Ozuna. And Tomas, hot hitter, is out for the 2nd out here in the 7th inning. He's 2 for 4 today with a single, a double, and a run batted in.
And not too many go from the White Wings to the Wing Nuts.
No, that's, tell you what, the road less traveled for sure. Here's Mark Trumbo, who has walked and scored a run. He's 0 for 2 today. Got to start at first base. Base is clear, 2 down. Facing Steve Cishek. Looking for the 1-2-3 inning here. Cishek fires, line drive down the right field line. Fair or foul? It is a fair ball into the corner. Big hop out to Stanton, who juggles it, and Trumbo's in at second base with a double. Not sure Giancarlo would have had any chance at throwing Trumbo out, even if he plays that carom cleanly. So it's a double for Trumbo, and a tie-breaking man in the scoring position now for Chris Owings. Bert Bowles been South Florida's choice for bowling for almost 60 years. They're a leader in family fun and entertainment in Miami. Be sure to check out their website at birdbowl.com for a list of all their specials. Bird Bowl, eat, drink, bowl. 6 runs, 12 hits for the Marlins. 6 runs, 9 hits for the visiting Diamondbacks. We're looking to sweep this 4-game series. Miami trying to get back into the win column for the first time since last Wednesday in Los Angeles. Which to Owings is taken for a strike. D-backs have the cross-country flight home to look forward to after this one. They got the Cubs coming into Phoenix for 3 beginning tomorrow night. Then they're right back out on the road. They go to Milwaukee and St. Louis on their next trip. 6 games. Bouncing ball up the middle to his left, Echeverria. Behind second base, has it. Rushes to throw to first. And Owens is out by a step to set down the side. So Cishek able to pitch around the 2-out double. And the D-backs leave a man in scoring position. Time to stand and sing now at Marlins Park. It's the 7th inning stretch. After the stretch, we're tied at 6. The Marlins and the Diamondbacks. The Marlins waiting. for Steve Cishek. The left-hander Andrew Chafin stays in the ball game. He got Yelich on a fielder's choice ground ball to end the sixth. Solano, Realmuto, and Echeverria, 6, 7, and 8 for Miami here in the seventh inning. Oh, we mentioned the D-backs go home after this. Well, the Marlins stay home. They've got 3 against the Orioles coming up, 7:10 tomorrow night, 7:15 on Saturday night, and then 1:10 Sunday to close out this 10-game homestand. That Sunday game, the next Sunday fun day here at Marlins Park. A great ticket deal for you as Solano steps in and Donovan takes up and away for a ball. Take advantage of the Pepsi 4 for $74 pack. Get 4 tickets, 4 K&B Franks, and 4 Pepsis for just $74. Kids get a Marlins batting practice pullover courtesy of Stanley Tools. They can wear it when they run the bases after the game at Diamond Dash. 1-0 pitch is muscled foul off to the right. Get your tickets today, Marlins.com. That's this Sunday, the Marlins and the Baltimore Orioles at 1:10. Donovan Solano has 4 hits and 24 at-bats this year. He's 2 for his last 21. 1 out of 11 as a pinch hitter. Tries to bunt his way on first base side of the mound. Chafin over to get it, and he takes care of Solano. So pinch hitter's out 1-3, and now JT Realmuto with nobody on, 1 out. Looking ahead to that Orioles series, we'll see Henderson Alvarez and Ubaldo Jimenez on the mound tomorrow night at 7:10. Saturday night, Dan Herron pitches against rookie Mike Wright. And then Sunday, Tom Kohler and Miguel Gonzalez, the mound matchup. We'll see out here at Marlins Park over the weekend. Realmuto with a triple and a run scored in 3 at-bats this afternoon. Chafin fires, and the lefty's fastball's knee-high for a strike. Realmuto, the 24-year-old catcher, awaits the 0-1. Here it is, and he takes a little bit low. From the first pitch to the last out, be sure to catch your Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Florida. Tune into Marlins baseball all season long on Fox Sports Florida, where Marlins fans live. Left fielder Peralta's off the line for Realmuto. There's the 1-1 to JT, and he fouls it toward the on-deck man Echeverria, who snares that bounding ball with his left hand. Marlins scored 3 times in the first. They've had 2 two-run leads in this game that they've let get away. They led 3-1. They led 4-2. 1-2 pitch is in the air to center. Pollock in a couple of steps, hardly had to move, makes the catch. 2 down. The D-backs on the strength of a 4-run sixth grabbed a 6-4 lead, but Miami came back and even scored in the bottom of the sixth, scoring twice. RBI singles by Marcelo Ozuna and Martin Prado, both big hits with 2 outs. Now Echeverria, who's got a single and a sac fly today, 1 for 2 with a run batted in. His 20th. Drove in 34 runs, 146 games all year in 2014. Etch getting better and better defensively, getting better and better at the plate. It's a season average of 299, and the pitch to him is down and in. Jeff Baker's out on deck. Should Etch reach to keep this 7th inning going? Chafin operates out of the stretch. Pant legs pulled up high, showing off those Sedona Red Sox. There's a fly ball out to right center. Pollock to his left. He's under it. Makes the catch. That was very easy for Andrew Chafin, who's come on. He's faced 4, and he's retired 4. Marlins tiptoe through the 7th. No runs or hits, no errors, nobody left. We'll go to the 8th. Nothing decided here this afternoon. Marlins 6, D-backs 6 on the Marlins Radio Network. runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out 1. Dyson has not allowed a run his last 4 times out in a span of 4 2/3 innings. He has not been scored upon in 14 of his last 15 outings. Gave up 3 runs his first 2 times out, April 7th against the Braves, April 10th against the Rays. But since then, he's pitched 15 times. He's hung a 0 in 14 of those appearances. And in those last 15 games, he's posted a 0.98 ERA. 2 runs in 18 1/3 innings. Needs to hang a 0 here. He'll face Jordan Pacheco, who's got a single, a sac fly, a run scored, a stolen base, and a run batted in this afternoon. He's 1 for 2 officially. Dyson out of the stretch with nobody on, fires a fastball inside at 94 miles per hour. Pacheco getting the start behind the plate with the early game time, 12:10 today. His first action in this series. No Tuffy Goswish behind the plate for the D-backs this afternoon. Now the 1-0, righty versus righty, inside and ball, 2-0. 6-6 our score. Since the Marlins have scored 5 runs in this game, you can receive 50% off your entire online order tomorrow at papajohns.com. Just use promo code Marlins5 by participating South Florida Papa John's locations. 2-0 pitch to Pacheco, ran inside. That's ball 3 with Pennington on deck. Pennington then the pitcher spot, and Paul Goldschmidt has a helmet on, bat in hand, 2 steps down from the top step in that D-backs dugout. So Chip Hale opts to play it here. 3-0 pitch is taken for a strike. As a D-backs fan, you'd be disappointed anytime that Paul Goldschmidt's not in the starting lineup, but you get late into a tight ball game, and you like the fact that his manager can send him up there anytime he wants. Three and 1 to Pacheco. The pitch from Dyson. It is outside and low. He walks the leadoff man. And not too many good things come out of leadoff walks, particularly late in close ball games. Here's Pennington, who's gotten the start at shortstop today and taken advantage. He walked in the 2nd, had an RBI double, and scored a run in the 6th. 1 for 2. D-backs started their road trip in Philadelphia, lost 3 in a row. Then they go to Miami and won 3 straight, trying to make it a 4-game sweep today. Dyson from the stretch, runner leads from first. Pacheco, the pitch on the way, and Pennington squared the bunt, pulled the bat back, took outside. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. 1-0 to Pennington. Pops the bunt up toward the mound. It's going to bounce, and Real Muto picks it up. Has trouble getting rid of it, and he throws late to first. Couldn't get out of the mitt. That's a break for the D-backs. Should have been an out. It's the 2nd time today in a key spot we've seen a Marlin unable to get the ball out of the glove. Happened to Matt Latos earlier in the game in a situation that loaded the bases with nobody out in what became a 4-run 6th inning. So now 1st and 2nd, nobody out, and this is the spot where Chip Hale will call upon his best and get Paul Goldschmidt to pinch hit. Goldschmidt among the league leaders in batting average, OBP, slugging, home runs, RBIs, you name it. Now Dan Jennings is out of the dugout. They may want to challenge this call at first base. Let's see. He's walking out to lone plate umpire Tom Hallion. And whatever they're discussing, they're both nodding affirmatively, and DJ's going to head back to the dugout. Now Real Muto out for a quick word with Dyson, who has put himself in a tough spot, first with a leadoff walk, and then Pennington reaching on what's going to be scored a sacrifice and a fielder's choice to put men at 1st and 2nd and nobody out. So Goldschmidt, he's been relatively quiet in this series, but he's hitting .317 overall, a .418 OBP. He has slugged .600 so far this year. 4th of the way in. Pitch to him is hit foul off to the right. For Goldschmidt, 9 doubles, a triple, 10 homers, 32 batted in. This is first chance as a pinch hitter because he has started all 39 D-backs games coming in. Not much experience in this role, but one of the better hitters in the league. Paul Goldschmidt finished second in MVP voting 2 years ago, runner-up behind Andrew McCutchen, and he was right in the hunt last year before he got hit by a pitch, broke his hand on August 9th. 0-1 is fouled back, didn't play the rest of the way a season ago. He was right there, though, when we were looking at the MVP race and where Giancarlo might fit in early August. Goldschmidt 2 years ago led the league in slugging and OPS, 36 doubles, led the league with 36 homers and 125 RBIs. That's who was the runner-up to McCutchen, who got the Pirates into the playoffs. 0-2, bouncing ball back to the mound, knocked down by Dyson, but he can't pick it up. He chases it toward third base. Everybody's safe. It'll be a hit for Goldschmidt off the bench. Now they're loaded with nobody out. And we roll back around to the top of the batting order for Ender Inciarte, who's got 3 hits today. So this is a huge mess, and the Marlins really have themselves to blame. A leadoff walk, then Pennington trying to give them an out with the sacrifice bunt, and Real Muto couldn't get the ball out of his glove to make the throw to first base in time. And a comebacker might have been a double play ball, but Dyson couldn't handle it cleanly. It wasn't a routine play by any stretch. But had he fielded it, might have had 2 outs. Instead, the bases are loaded, nobody out, and the Marlins pull the infield in for Inciarte. Lefty hitter facing the right-hander, and Dyson's pitch is slammed into right field. Oh, Stanton's there, makes the catch. Runner tags, coming home. Stanton's thrown to the plate. Real Muto the tag, and out at the plate. They got Pacheco. It's a double play. Giancarlo lined that one up perfectly, had his momentum coming toward the plate as he made the catch, and he guns down the go-ahead man in inning number 8. The other runners move up. Pennington to third base, Goldschmidt to second. That is a big-time double play. To throw a little bit up the third base line, but JT went to get it, and he applied the tag on the back of Pacheco, and he clearly got him before the plate. That's the 5th outfield assist of the season for Giancarlo Stanton, who, by the way, does more than just hit long home runs. Finalist for the Gold Glove in right field last year. Here's A.J. Pollock now, second and third, 2 down suddenly. And that one is in, and he didn't mean to swing at it, but it ticked the bat. Foul tip, strike 1, a fastball 97. So the D-backs had the bases loaded with nobody out. Now second and third, 2 outs, and we're still tied. That is a big-time double play. Pollock double and 4 at bats. Star the last 2 nights for Arizona takes inside. Another fastball 97 from Dyson, 1-1. Ran through some of the recent Sam Dyson highlights on the mound. That nice profile was brought to you by Bennett Auto Supply, the leader in quality parts and reliable customer service. Visit BennettAuto.com today. Bennett Auto Supply, do it yourself, but not alone. Runners lead, Pennington from third, Goldschmidt from second, 2 down. Dyson looking to pull the Houdini-esque escape here in the 8th inning in a 6-6 game. Now steps off the rubber. Grabs some dirt. Pollock with 5 hits and 15 at bats in the series. The 1-1 to him is a little tap right in front of the plate, racing in to get it. Dyson throws a fastball to first. Pollock is safe on a bang-bang play, and the D-backs take the lead.
And Baker got stepped on by the runner. He's hurting.
Here comes Sean Cunningham, the Marlins head trainer, out of the third base dugout. And I'd like to get another look at that one as Dan Jennings asks for time. Pollock, who runs very well, apparently able to beat out that tapper off to the third base side of the mound. Looks like he was indeed safe. Now DJ walks out to check on Baker. Yeah, he's safe. No doubt. No need to challenge this one. An infield hit for Pollock and another huge RBI for him in this series.
Well, I'm looking at that play at first base. Now I don't know how Baker got hurt.
Was it on the stretch?
I thought he got stepped on.
He made a big stretch there.
But it must have been the stretch.
And now DJ back out of the dugout. He's got the lefty Dunn up in the bullpen. And it looks like he may want him to face Peralta. He left Dyson out there to go after lefty Inciarte, and he got the fly ball double play with Pacheco thrown out at the plate. But now with Peralta coming up, Mike Dunn coming into the ball game. We'll take a break in this seesaw affair. The D-backs back on top now 7-6. Top of the 8th. Back after this on the Marlins Radio Network. The Arizona Diamondbacks have regained the lead here in the top of the 8th, 7-6 on the 2-out infield hit by A.J. Pollock that brought Cliff Pennington across. And with that, Dyson is done. Mike Dunn, the lefty, comes on to face David Peralta. For Mike Dunn, appearance number 18 on the season. He is 0-3, including a couple of losses on this homestand, one against the Braves, and he was losing pitcher here against the D-backs on Tuesday night, and he allowed 2 runs on 3 hits in 2/3 of an inning. He allowed the go-ahead home run by Pollock in the 8th on Tuesday. Now he'll face this left-hander Peralta. Peralta is 2 for 14 facing lefty pitching this year. He's at .298 against right-handers. So Marlins match up here with Dunn to face this lefty hitter who's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts today. And the pitch to him is a one-hopper to the shortstop. Gathered in by Echeverria. Throws to first. Took Dunn all of 1 pitch to get out of the inning. But the damage is done for the D-backs. They score 1 run on 2 hits. And they strand a pair to the bottom of the 8th. D-backs back on top 7-6 on the Marlins Radio Network. 7-6 D-backs as we go to the bottom of the 8th here at Marlins Park. A lot of changes for Arizona as we move to this bottom of the 8th. Paul Goldschmidt stays in the game at first base. Mark Trumbo moves to right field. Inciarte moves from right field to left field. Tuffy Goswish comes on behind the plate now. And the new pitcher is right-hander Addison Reed. Reed, who had begun the season Arizona's closer, like Steve Cishek, is out of that role right now because of struggles over the course of the year. Jeff Baker steps in, takes down an in-ball one. But Reed in a closing-type spot right here. It's the 8th inning, not the 9th, but protecting a one-run lead. This is an important outing for him, with the D-backs having just moved back in front in the top of the 8th. Baker on 1-0, taps one foul off to the left. We were talking about that play with Baker and Pollock at first base in the top of this inning, and Baker getting banged up on the play. I think what happened was Pollock's arm clipped Baker's glove and bent his wrist back a little bit. And that's why Baker was in some distress. 1-1 pitch is over the outside corner for a strike. They got tangled up at first, and Pollock able to beat the play to give the D-backs the lead. Baker at infield hitting his first bat today. Came on as part of a double switch, and he fouls this one off to the right. When you're going the way the Marlins are going right now, and by that we mean losses in 6 straight, 9 of 10, 13 of 17, we've seen a good number of nights when the Marlins offense has struggled and you've wasted some good pitching. 1-2 to Baker. He's fouled back. Do it again. Now today, the bats have come alive. 6 runs on 12 hits, but the men on the mound haven't been able to hold the D-backs down. And that's the way it goes. When you hit, you don't pitch. When you pitch, you don't hit. That's how you get to 16 and 25, unfortunately. 1-2 pitch to Baker. Swing and a miss. He chased a slider down and away from Addison Reed. And that's out number 1 in the 8th. Reed replacing Chafin, who retired all 4 batters he faced in the inning in the 3rd of 4. After Randall Delgado had a shaky 2/3 of an inning out of the bullpen for the D-backs. Addison Reed, 26, pitched at San Diego State for the late Tony Gwynn. Broke in with the White Sox in his 2nd year now with the D-backs. 1-2 and a 5.54 ERA. This is his 14th appearance. Pitch to D. Gordon, a 2-hopper to short. Up with it cleanly, Pennington fires to first. D. Gordon is hitless. 0 for 4 with a walk. 2 outs quickly. Nobody on. Bottom of the 8th. Marlins down to run. Marcell Ozuna coming up. Well, if Ozuna can reach, Stanton would come up representing the go-ahead run. This one time for some good news for a change? Yes. Well, tune into WIOD News Radio 610 AM every Sunday morning at 8 for Mission Possible, sponsored by the Miami Rescue Mission and the Broward Outreach Center. The stories will inspire you. Reed to Ozuna, and he misses low with a breaking ball. Ozuna has a couple of singles, an RBI, and 2 runs scored today, 2 out of 4. He's been a streaky hitter since he got to the big leagues in late April of 2013. He's been streaky so far this year, takes a strike. Ozuna started the year cold, hit 194 over his first 9 games. Then he lifted his average to 321 by batting .404 in his next 13. Coming into this one, a .210 average in his last 16. And he takes over the outside corner. That's called strike 2. Looking to reach to get Stanton to the plate. Marlins down 7-6 in the last of the 8th. They've hit the D-backs 12-11. 1-2 to Ozuna. He's watching. Called strike 3. A fastball, outer third. Ozuna couldn't pull the trigger. Addison Reed strikes out a pair and a perfect 8th. That'll send this one to the 9th. The D-backs trying to sweep this 4-game series. Marlins trying to get into the win column desperately. Miami down 7-6 on the Marlins Radio Network.
the final out with one pitch in the 8th inning. And continues here into the 9th. The veteran left-hander. Tomas is 2 out of 4 on the day. Double to drive in a run in the 1st inning. Single to lead off the 6th, which wound up being a 3-run inning for the Diamondbacks. And he scored the first of those 3. 7-6 D-backs. And the pitch and a called strike on Tomas, right-hand batter. Yelich, Ozuna, and Stanton still in the outfield. Baker at first with Gordon at second. Echeverria at short and Prado at third. Real Muto all the way behind the plate. Swung on, missed, strike 2 to Tomas. Then Mark Trumbo, who started the game at first base, finishing up in right field. And then Chris Owings, the second baseman. He's done a good job today. Made a really nice play to get out of an inning against the Marlins in, what was it, the 6th inning. The pitch. And that's low. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tomas. These Diamondbacks, 18-21 coming in. 6 out in the National League West, which is headed by the Dodgers, 2.5 games ahead of the Giants. And the Diamondbacks today looking for their 4th straight win. There's a ball fouled away off to the right side. They had come into this series having lost 4 in a row. 1-2 on Tomas. Warm and muggy outside, and the chance of thunderstorm activity in the area. We haven't seen much. The sun in and out behind some cloud cover. But here in Miami for this afternoon's game, the roof has been closed as well as the windows. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Tomas down on strikes against the lefty Mike Dunn. First strikeout for Dunn. Second battery base. And here's Mark Trumbo. Hit a double in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored today. These teams only square off in 2 series. This one here in Miami, a 4-game set. Here's the pitch. Blowing outside. Right after the All-Star break, the Marlins will head out on a road trip that will take them to Philadelphia, Phoenix, and San Diego. And so the next time after today they see the Diamondbacks will be July 20th in Phoenix. The pitch. A high fly ball for Stanton in right. He moves to his left and back onto the track and hauls it down. Trumbo is out. 2 down. And Chris Owings will be the batter. Why not book a group outing at the Clevelander here at Marlins Park? Enjoy happy hour pricing before all the weekday home games, just $20 per person. The Clevelander offering brunch before all Sunday home games, featuring $5 mimosas and Bloody Marys. Check it out at marlins.com/groups. A ball in the air for Stanton again. He backpedals a few steps, still on the grass, makes the catch, and a 1-2-3 inning here in the 9th for Mike Dunn, who came into the game, faced 4, retired all 4. Now it's up to the Marlins bats if they are to do something about this score, which is Arizona 7, Miami 6, headed to the bottom of the 9th on the Marlins Radio Network. Ahmed, their best shortstop, moves to short. Pennington moves to third. And Yosmani Tomas is out of the game. So they've changed during the course of the late innings here 3 of the 4 infielders. Here's Giancarlo leading it off against Ziegler, who fires a first pitch strike to Stanton. Stanton today 1 for 2 with a walk and an RBI, and he's thrown a runner out at the plate and scored a run. The pitch fouled at the plate.
Stanton faced Ziegler last night in the 9th inning. Miami was down 6-0. He came up with the bases loaded. Ziegler came into the game. We talked about his sinker, all the ground balls he gets, and on one pitch he got Giancarlo into a 6-4-3 double play, though it did bring home a run.
Ziegler's 19th appearance. Stanton chasing, swinging, and missing, totally confounded by the delivery and the pitch from Ziegler. One down, 2 to go for the Diamondbacks. Addison Reed worked the last inning and struck out a couple. They scored their go-ahead run against Sam Dyson in the 8th inning. So let's see. Pitcher of record for the Diamondbacks is Chafin. Here's a fly ball center field. Over for it, Pollock. He pulls that down, and Prado is out, and here comes Yelich. Last opportunity for the Marlins with 2 down. Marlins 1 out away from recording their 7th consecutive loss. The Diamondbacks, if you're wondering, have never swept a 4-game series from the Marlins in Miami. The pitch fouled at the plate. The Diamondbacks swept a 4-game set from the Marlins in Phoenix in the 2007 season. Marlins were out there in late July 2007, got swept in a 4-game set. Ziegler with the 0-1 pitch. Missed outside. So these certainly, to put it mildly, are hard times for the Marlins. The pitch fouled off. Looking at the bigger picture, even beyond what might well become a 7-game losing streak, a loss today will mean the Marlins will have lost 14 of their last 18 games. And right now mired in last place in their division. The pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3, and Ziegler and company complete the sweep of the Marlins in a 4-gamer here in Miami. A 4-game sweep, wrapping up with today's 7-6 win for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they return home a happy club. They came in here wondering what they could do to snap a losing streak. They did, and swept a 4-game series. And for the Marlins, the misery continues. And for Dan Jennings, who took over as the manager when Mike Redmond was let go last Sunday, he is still looking for his first managerial win. More importantly, the team looking for a win. And there are people upset. I see trash cans that have been sent flying down in that Marlins dugout. A very unhappy and frustrated, mad Marlins ball club vacates the dugout. Meanwhile, below us to the right, the Diamondbacks, a big celebration and a happy team flying home. 7-6. The Diamondbacks beat the Marlins. Back to look at the totals in a moment.